All right. We're still good. We're good. That was actually my first time talking at all this morning. Woo woo. Otherwise, I think we are just about good to go. We're just about almost good to go. How about that? What is up, everyone? This is Coffee with Soul. I'm your host. We're gonna chat. We're gonna talk. I was seeing some chatter about decor duels, and I reminded myself, I don't know shit about it, to be honest. I remember when it was first announced. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's really neat. That sounds fun. And then I saw other commentary being like, oh, that's just like such and such. That's just like blah, blah, blah. And that didn't really click for me. And so a bit more recently, I was like, wait, so this is like a normal thing, or this is like a thing that happens. So I guess on like other games like FPSs and whatnot, they have like a whole prop hunt sort of thing. And so I was like looking some stuff up real quick. I'm like, ah, crap, I gotta start streaming. So here I am. Hey, hope everyone's doing well. It is Wednesday, so for EU folks, it's well into like the first day of of a reset day. So I hope everyone's vaults were merry. As for like raid stuff, I hope everyone's loots were merry. That y'all killed hella stuff tonight. That last night, I'm sorry. How did we do? I pulled up logs briefly. I didn't get a good glance at them quite yet. I don't know if we'll take another moment or so to take a look at them. But we did decent. We had kind of a slow start. Like, I was like, okay, let's start off with heroic Dream Rift. Or I'm sorry, we did normal Dream Rift, and then I switched it to heroic, and I'm like, okay, after this, then we'll go and do like the other normal raids. We'll smash those really quick. But we had kind of a slow start. Like, people were like wiping and goofing up, and so part of me was thinking, okay, maybe I needed to like warm us up or something like that. Maybe doing Void Spire would have been like a better idea to kind of lead us into heroic before we're like really used to it. Maybe it's too soon. I don't know. But I noticed that, and we'll see if that turns into like, okay, lesson learned. I'm not going to do that sort of order again. I thought it was a good idea at first though, because last week we like smashed. We totally annihilated heroic Dream Rift guy. Whatever. Like, we got further along last week in the first day than we did this week, because I'm like, okay, that's kind of odd. We got gear and everything, so why are people making mistakes? But it's all right. It shouldn't be a big deal. And my hopes are that we'll get like them dragons down, and maybe even like the paladin people down by Thursday. Yeah. So otherwise, hope everyone's doing well, having a good time, that you're all not sick like I am or was or whatever. Let's say hi to people real quick. What is up to Raven? You're the first person to say hi. What is up to... Okay, my chat thing's all acting funny again. Also, what is up to Dragon and Arceus and Sonata? What's up to Kimmy and Darth and Anne and Boomer and Callie and Lillian and Blywin and Rain and Nikale? Thanks, Grim, for subscribing. What's up to Epiphana, to Odette, and to the rest? Yeah, all the beautiful digital spout faces are going to be joining us throughout the day. I gotta pour one out. This might be like... I'm gonna probably keep doing the whole lemon tea thing probably for the rest of the week, just out of, caution and all that. But I think for the most part, like, I'm done. I'm taking like one more round of decongestant meds and all that, and I think after this I should be like, I should be fine for the weekend by the time I get to that. Then I can abuse my body with like yard work and chores and all that stuff and make myself sick again. So it's all good. It's all good. I've seen a few prop hunt streams back a few years ago. It looked fun. Yeah, I mean, like, the whole premise of it is like just hide and seek. So you have like things, and you have abilities with which to hide and seek. Clever. but yeah, there's like things to it, and like yeah, here like they have like abilities. So Seekers are tasked with finding every member of the hiding team before the timer expires. There are 3 Seeker skills, so there are, so you can like, you choose specs, right? You choose specs. They have their own unique abilities and playstyle. So these look very spammy from what it looks like. So, you know, here's like this arrow, 50-yard range. So you just like spam it. It feels like, right? You just keep going, and then like ta-da, and then you find them, and then that's it. But I think you actually have to like reveal them. You have to change their state from a hidden state to a found state, and then you tag them, something like that. Yeah. I'll have to like look at like footage. I haven't tried doing it on myself on the Peter. So I'm a little bit curious. So so an Arcane Ranger, that they can like spam that every half second, which seems pretty fast. I don't know. Is that too fast? Now, and this is instant. Dispel the illusions of hiders in an area in front of you, marking them found. So, excuse me. So in this case, you're just kind of like sweeping the land, right? You're sweeping the land, boom, boom, boom. But of course, you're kind of far away too. Or you get to get in range, but then you'll see like if you get close to someone, like they might move or something. So, and then dispel the illusions of spellcasters in an area. And that's okay. That has a cast time, but 1 second cooldown. And then you can teleport this person. 2.2 second cooldown. It's a channel. Dispel the illusions of spellcasters in front of you, marking them found. Jump to a location, dispelling the illusions of spellcasters around the area of impact. So that's the thing. You're just like jumping and you're leaping all over the place. That feels intimidating. Okay, so hiders can do all sorts of stuff though. Okay, again, I barely know jack about how this stuff works. So you'll have to forgive me a bit. Be like, oh, what's this? So hiders will periodically whistle, giving an audio alert to nearby seekers. Wow, that's an accessibility thing. Gosh. Hiders that sit still for too long will start to accumulate flies, making it easier for seekers to find them. They can customize the toolkit by choosing 1 of 4 traps at the start of a round. So here are the traps, I guess. And then here's like the general abilities. So you disguise yourself as another prop. Okay, so we can change our disguise. Swap locations with a nearby decor. Swap locations? Wait, so does other decor like move? Or maybe there are, because I'm not fully understanding this, maybe there's like random, I guess there are random props or random decor that's going to be dotted around, so it doesn't, you know, I guess the intent is not every map is going to look the same, even if the layout is going to be different, if I'm understanding this correctly, because that'll be helpful at least. So it's like someone who's like, okay, I memorized the entire map and the layout of all the props and all the decor, so like they know exactly where to go. So having something like that would be kind of cool. And then you just kind of like teleport. That's kind of neat. You can stun nearby seekers. You become found. Okay, so melee range even. Oh crap! So it stuns the person, the person coming after you, and hopefully that's by yourself. But then you become found. So doesn't that mean you're like suicide? Or is it you're in a state where you can get tagged now? I think that's how that works. And then decoy, conjure a trapped decoy. Conjure a trapped decoy of your decor. A trapped decoy? No one's gonna fall for that though, right? And it has a 14-day cooldown. Okay, you stun them to run and hide again as the same or different. But then you can see them though. So I don't, you know, we have eyeballs. So it just feels like it's way easier to find. Like once you see someone move, it feels like it's game over. Unless the hider person can temporarily stealth for a little bit. And if that's the case, okay, that's kind of cool. That'll help a little bit. Okay, so anyway, about these traps. So if no seeker is within 30 yards, you toss a... Okay, it's a trap though. If no seeker is within 30 yards, you toss a bird on your position. If there's at least one secret within 30 yards, you lob a decoy near the position close to you. Okay, it summons a bird that will whistle at random intervals for 30 seconds. Okay, so it just kind of like throws people off. Okay, that seems kind of cool. You stun them, run around the corner stairs, and swap before they see you again. But then, so do the other people? Will the other people see them as they're running around the corner? Because, like, the thing with the props is if you see someone move, you're kind of done. Depends on the map size. Okay, you know, practice will be what helps us with that. Okay, so slow trap Sands of Time lays a Sands of Time area that persists for a minute and some. Applying time distortion to seekers passing through it, slowing them down. Casting this while you have a thing will just move it. Okay, so it's just slows. That seems kind of whipped. I mean, if you're so here's what I'm talking about. Like if like you're spotted and you're considered found and they're like running after you and stuff, it feels like that's it. Like it's only a matter of time. And in this case, like you have like at least like a small tiny chance of like, okay, I can slow them down and I can go around a corner or something like that and then hide. But then I would feel like as soon as the person gets there, they're not going to be like, oh, where did they go? They're just going to see stuff and they'll start spamming their abilities that have like the 1 second, 0.5 second cooldown. But I mean, these games are meant to be short anyway, right? So I'm not, yeah. Okay, what's this one? Creates a sphere that persists for 30 seconds. Sphere behaves differently for hiders and seekers. Hiders who make contact with it are propelled up. Oh, okay, here's what I'm talking about. When it's like, boom, you just kind of like burst away or something like that. But you got to be pretty good at, you know, it's a different sort of game, right? You got to make sure that you're line of sighting people. So you need to have that sort of spatial awareness, I guess. So seekers who make contact with the sphere are repelled backwards up to. So does it persist for like that, or does it detonate once, or does it detonate twice? Because if it's like a sphere that I can leave behind me, sort of, then it'll push me forward and push the other person back at the same time. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, so I think that would be the ideal thing, right? If they're like real, okay, that's super high risk though, right? They're really close, like right behind me, they're about to tag, and I throw down the spear, boom. Well, no, that's not going to work either because that has a 2.57 cooldown. I'm suddenly getting excited. So I'm like, what is this again? I mean, I know that like the day-to-day for me is going to be ritual sites. I'm going to be doing that for gear. And a mode like this, there's going to be like an immediate turnoff from people who are like, oh my god, they're going to, you know, totally turn their nose up to it and be like, well, it doesn't get me any like gear or, you know, any crests or whatever, so why even bother? Which is fine, because the people who do participate, you know, they're there for these sorts of rewards. Okay, Smoke and Mirrors applies the effects of disguise, releases a number of prop decoys running in random directions for 15 seconds. Okay, that's kind of cool. Removes the found condition and puts you back in a hidden state. Okay, that's neat. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, that feels like a cool trap. Yeah. Interesting. Is that if you're finding, you try to stun and run while fleeing before you get caught, and try to find a new spot. Okay, it kind of felt like these abilities here. It felt like these would reveal someone and they're like right next to you. It's like, oh crap, and then you would just be found like you know, once you're revealed, they'll tag you like instantly. But I think that might not necessarily be the case. And of course, you need to do this with all 5 players. But of course, there's 5 people looking for your ass. So, yeah, this sounds fun. It sounds, for someone who's never done this before, it sounds intimidating. It sounds kind of scary. But that's the whole thing. It's hide and seek, right? With a couple twists. Hello, Gecko. All right. So let me pull up my list of stuff. Sounds like it'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be cool. Maybe. We'll see. All right. We still got a few minutes, so let's see how was the queue looking. So we got 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, we got a lot of EU folks. We got 2, 4, 6 people. That's perfect. More, if there's more, I won't complain. But yeah, if we can fill it up with US folks for the rest of it, we're golden. Can't be any worse than doing Prey. I enjoy Prey, but I'm also a tank, so I have no credibility there. All right, so after yesterday's kerfuffle, I think that's a word, Fuzzy should be first. And then we'll get started in a bit. Boom. So today we're going to be looking at Fuzzy's, Akmed's, virus, Valkyrion, and Kim Stardust in that particular order. Okay, Kim Stardust is claiming a 4,000 out of 7,000 budget. Oh crap. Ooh, dude, imagine a 7,000 budget. Ooh, that's wild. I'm gonna try it again since I got better gear. Everything's better with gear. Absolutely. And next week when the patch comes out, there's all sorts of ways to gear. Folks who are already like a cut above and they're like doing their keys and whatnot, nothing's gonna change for them. The things that are coming out next week are just ways to get cosmetics. You know, it's like, hey, cool cosmetics, woohoo! But they're not gonna care about like the extra stuff because they have already, they've already geared above that stuff, and that's fine. That's what we typically see from these 0.5 and 0.7 patches. Like, it would kind of suck. Like imagine, like we're already getting like the kind of turbo boost sort of thing. So there is a way for folks to like get higher gear and all that with what they, but it's more like an enhancement of what they already have. Like imagine if during a 0.5 or a 0.7, there was like some sort of like new content that gave you gear that was just like straight up better. And I'm not just talking about like a Cersei circlet or a Delve belt or whatever. I'm talking about like a whole new set of gear that comes from like this new dungeon difficulty or something like that. That's just better than anything that you could have possibly have gotten earlier in the season. People would be livid because it pretty much negates, any sort of feeling of accomplishment during the season up to that point because, well, it looks like we're pushing the goalpost back a little bit. We're gonna see a little bit of that chatter with. We've been seeing a bit of that chatter with the item level upgrades, but again, that is something that enhances the gear that you already have. So to me, that doesn't quite hit the same way. I just hate the giant circle people. Giant circle people? What's the giant circle people? Oh, the one where you're like, you gotta click things and the patrols. There you go. Don't get spotted, that sort of thing. Yeah, that, well, you know what? Because you can't tank that. Sorry, very important question that's being asked of me that I want to address. Answer me. Come on, come on. Oh, you know when you see like someone typing and you're like waiting for them to answer? It's like sweet. Okay, so real quick. Sorry. Where's that? Damn it. I'm such a dork. Okay. So let me rephrase a little bit what I was talking about. This week I'm going to interview developers about Decor Duel. Woohoo! And that'll be fun. And what I'd love to hear from you folks, now that I can say it, if you have any questions about Decor Duel, go ahead and chime in. You know, I have a chat archive. I will look through this later once stream is over. But if you have any questions, anything at all, I already have submitted some stuff. But if there's anything more that I can ask, because again, I'm coming from like zero knowledge, so I'm asking like very newbie questions. But I'd love to get anything more on that. That'd be awesome. So I'll ask that a number of times throughout stream. So if you want to chime in here, or if you want to reach out to me over on Discord, like DM me or whatever, don't DM me on Twitch though. That's a black hole. That just doesn't work. So yeah, so like how many maps and all that stuff, I believe it's just the one, but you know, feel free to ask. You know, feel free to chime in, even if I might possibly know the answer already. So all right. But yeah, yay. Right up until stream started, I was like in this whole scramble of like putting out information. Oh man. Sometimes, you know, the background behind the curtain of like a lot of this content stuff, like it's madness. Trust. There's like there's a lot of chaos. Not on them, you know, they're doing their thing, but it's like, oh shit. A lot of the time. All right. Wonder if there's gonna be a tutorial at first. Will be yeah. So keep asking. Like I said, I'll be able to look at the archive later. So I might not be able to respond or acknowledge that I read your stuff. So don't worry about this so much. Just mouth off, vomit whatever you like, and then I'll deal with the rest later. Oh yeah. But of course, I'm happy to like commentate and talk about that stuff too between visits. So, all right, yay! All right, music's off. That stuff's going. I think I moved a crap ton of stuff over, so I should be okay on space, right? Hell yeah, baby. Hello, Max. And hello, everyone. Hello, Hazelnut. Hope everyone's doing all good. Doing all good. And let's get this show on the road. All right, folks, this is Fuzzy's Place, Rover Founders. And this is a bit less of a familiar lot for me because we're in the spooky area. This is like a different sort of location, but I already like how this presentation's being put before us. You know, so here we are on the main road, and we're seeing like this very envious spot. If we happen to be like walking through, we're like, oh wow, Derek, have you seen this place? No, Janet, I have not. But it looks so great. Dude, can we go meet the neighbors now, Janet? Let's go. Anyway. Yeah, nice spread that we have here. I like the perspective that we're already seeing here. And it's not even a perspective thing. Like that's going to be something that we'll be able to, you know, definitely go to with like the whole waterfall setup. It feels natural. Feels like it's built in. Like this is part of the map. And that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I love this effect. I haven't seen something like this before where, you know, we have like super elevated houses, or we have like this single elevation. It's like really high up. But here they created like this entire landscape. That's what I find like really cool about the start about of the exterior here. Like, check it. You have the entire bedrock raised up here, and then it kind of descends down a little bit, down to like paving stones over here. Yeah, so I love that. I love the incline. There we go. I think that's a good way to put it. So we climb over the bridge, cute little bridge that they set up with the platforms, small platforms. And then we have, oh, there's a bunny. The bunny is doomed. Sorry, bunny. Well, okay, bunny's out for a swim and all that. But then we'll go across here. Like, yeah, the water work is like really, really good. Now, in this case, they're using upside down fountains as opposed to carpets. You know, those rounded rugs. Like, you can kind of tell the texture here. So that works out really, really good. In front here, though, same thing. Yeah, you have like one big fountain, another big fountain, and that's why you see it have this sort of like circular shape to it. Helps to save on the budget. And, you know, you get the water effects just fine. So it looks great. Yeah, this is really well done. Definitely one of the cooler landscaping things that I've seen, like ever. Like I'm not even trying to be like, oh, this is great. Well, no, this is really impressive. Yeah. It's the Razor Wind Fountain. So it's one of those big ones, and you can dye. You can actually dye it too. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Let's go around the other side real quick. So, you know, we have our usual set of greens to set up the base here. And of course, once again, you have like that bit of the elevation here happening. And then more greens to dress it up, hide, obscure. Yeah. Nice. And oh, there's this nice little climb up here too. How thoughtful. You know, and there's greens all over the place as well. Yeah, it feels like this is, it. You know, at a glance, it looks like, wow, this looks like way more than 250, right? So it's a very smart use of all the pieces here. Well done. But now let's head inside. Immediately once we do part of my hussy. All right. So, as soon as we go in, notice we're in a very low ceiling. Yeah, notice how low the ceiling sits. We come in, we're portaled in, kind of, because right here in the back we have what I believe to be like one of those Kyrian fountains. I can kind of remember the texture here. And it's also being drawn by this Niffin arch. You know, so we have like the regular Blood Elf arch, but we have like the additional arch here to create this kind of like natural entrance, which is kind of a clash with the usual, you know, very paved, very sharp lines of some of the Blood Elf architecture. But now we have, ooh, we're in a portal room. Oh, that's sick. So that way is a church. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a cool door. That's neat. That's really neat. Because we just got three paladin books right here. That's very creative. That's really cool. You know, it flows really well too. So now it doesn't produce its own lighting effects. So let me see how it sits here. Like, notice how I'm not like getting, you know, blasted or anything like that. You know, so it doesn't produce like that really strong effect, but it does happen to bounce off of the floors a little bit, which is pretty cool. Right this way is probably like some, you know, variation of the Emerald Dream. Really pretty stuff with the Torghast portal, if I'm remembering this correctly. And then on the right side, we have what could be another Torghast portal. Yeah, I think it's just another Torghast portal type, because I think here's like the roundedness of it, you know, right on the side. But then we have the ethereal portal, and that goes into, I don't know, Arcaneville, something like that. So it looks like a small room, but I'm kind of I think that's a little bit suspicious. So yeah, just this portal room Really cool setup. Really cool setup. It sets this expectation of, ooh, we're going to be dazzled, right? So, of course, we go to the left and check out this chapel. So, ooh, whoa, wow. Oh, man. That's crazy. I'm not even looking at the floor yet. I'm kind of stuck on the ceiling. Sheesh. So, it's just lots of windows. It's kind of crazy how you can take like just one of these pieces and like do so much with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 8 on each side there that are like super embiggen, and then you have like these that create this sort of star formation. 2 of them here, 2 of them here that are kind of sitting under it. In between them, you have the ochre windows, and then you have this other star formation, which creates this really cool, shape here. And then up there is, I believe, like one of those priest light things. I think you get that from the priest order hall. Yeah, that's dope. That's hecker cool. What a cool shape, dude. Oh, and there's like other things here too. This is like fun with elven windows. And there's so much cool stuff that's happening here. So like I guess this one here. So we start off with like the rug in the background. Oh, gee, yeah, this whole doorway is so opulent, is I guess the word. And it's kind of funny because it sort of clashes with the Belemeth style wood here. So I get maybe that's intended. I don't know. But we start off with the table, then we have like this sort of star formation again with the windows, the ochre windows, and then in the back is like this rug that descends down. Tables on the side, more of the ochre windows. Yeah, crazy, dude. We have like a similar configuration there. And like these, like the tower work there, I believe that's really expensive too. That's a lot of stuff. That's back there. Like it's a bunch of shelves plus plus these pillars, which again, I think those are like pretty expensive. Oh wow. And I think we'll be able to climb up there and get a closer look. So let's kind of like hang out down here for a little bit, okay? So yeah, so I guess they mean to have like this sort of like contrast with like the bright whites followed by like this oaken look to it. That's dope. Check out the patterning here. Oh, that's really smart because you have like this big shape and it looks so smooth, but you have the ochre windows that are drawn on each of the clips here, and a big old rug right in the center. Yeah, really clean looking as this sort of like wall facade kind of dealy. Yeah, that's super good. That is super good. Now I do wonder, don't answer if they're in chat. Were there I wonder if there were bugs here. Like did they walk in and like do a quick check? Okay, here's like the parts that are typically like, they pop back out or they rotate all funny. They had to go in here real quick to like fix this up before I visited because I think they were online. So anyway, let's check out what else is going on here. So we do have like, a very modest audience. There aren't seats for like a whole lot of folks. Priest or whoever, they're going to be standing up front. There's no lectern or anything like that. And they just have like a magnificent setup. Ooh, so good. All right, let's look at these towers though, because we're going to be climbing up a couple of these things. We'll start off with this one because I think this will take us to that upper level. And I'm curious. So we're climbing up a bunch of wall shelves. Pretty steep climb. Kind of usual with that sort of thing. Little climb here, plastic platforms and barriers here. And then we have this organ. Books. Books over there too. I'm not entirely sure what this here is supposed to depict. I mean, these might be tuning, things to like tune the piano with. But then otherwise, like the huge pipe organs are like, wow, it's huge. What a cool setup. Using the bookshelves here. And you can see the books back there, but then, that's not the point. Whole point is you're seeing like this magnificence right up there. Benches kind of like lining the top as well. Here, let me try to look at more of stuff from this higher elevation. So it is a way to like kind of tune the organ. Got it. Okay, that's cool. That's really thoughtful. And then we have like another set of like huge pipes over there, which I'm sure is also part of the organ. That's crazy. Definitely have knowledge about how that stuff works. I mean, I don't know anything because I'm like, okay, how come it's not like, how come there aren't pipes over there? I'm sure there's a good explanation for that. That's sick. And then right up here on top of these like other towers ish, I don't know if we'll be able to like see much more of it. But they purposefully like set up like towers on each corner here to, have like some growth here. Looks really pretty. Especially with like how bright everything looks. Oh man, okay, so let's make our way down. And then, it's like kind of boxed in right here. So it's all hollow, I'm sure. Wow, fantastic work. Just on this room, sheesh. So we go in, oh, confession room. Yeah, there we go. Close them drapes. Have a seat. Okay, no seating. We just, oh no, actually we kneel down. What did we do? Wipe the raid. Why? Because I didn't enchant my gear again. Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. And then all of a sudden you hear a sound. Ooh, what was that? And then the priest is like, I enchanted your gear. Get out there, noob. And start parsing, buddy. Yeah, good setup. Nice and simple. So there's going to be, so it looks like there's more to the swing. This is just the start of it, too. Very grand impression, though. So you walk in, notice how things are like super skinned. Kind of curious. So you have like Trallian there, Alaria on the other side here too, in this very like, holy chapel. They're praying for her and him, for they are lost so far until the next patch or something like that. So now we enter this crypt. And in this crypt, dedications to the fallen, Draenei something or other. You have their favorite plushie, right? Oh, and you have a smaller coffin. That's maybe it's a Miss Murgle who fell in battle, or Vulpera or something like that. And that person, these are cool. I've seen crypts that are like, creepy, scary, and all that stuff. This one is more like, it's still a crypt, but I'd say like you see a lot of celebration of life. There we go. I think that's a good way to put it. Celebrations of life with this one, with this depiction. Yeah, that's cool. Very paladin-y vibe right here on this side. Another fallen, possibly Draenei paladin person or priest or whoever. Yeah, really cool. Notice how it's all lined up with all of these Gilnean walls. A shame that it doesn't have, that it has like this kind of like uneven tone to it. So you see like the different clips here, but we know what we're seeing. Yeah, low ceiling, tight kind of, crypt sort of vibe to it. A little bit of growth happening here. Really neat. Really, really neat. That was an earthen. Oh, okay, my mistake. And that takes care of this wing here. Yeah, crazy detail though. So now we're gonna go to Arcane Land next. Note the draping here. A bit of a, well, I won't even say a simpler of a shape. This is nice and easy, a nice and easy setup. This one I would say, involves a few more pieces here. Very grand though. But now we're being like whooped, zipped into somewhere else. So now in Arcane Land, we have like this this different lead up. We have some obviously secret shelves to go through there. But first, check out the collections real quick. Some nice light clutter over in this spot. It's just like a smaller work area, place to sit, relax, pound the wine. It's like, yo, just for like 2 people, you have like this much going on? Absolutely. Why not? It's magic. It's all right. Or it's just juice. Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, really cozy. Has that, it doesn't have that cluttered look to it, but definitely that lived in feel. Very personalized. But right through here, what do we have? We have, oh, more like a closet space with a invitation to go elsewhere, right? And then here, yeah, things are like tightening up quite a bit in this spot. So let's kind of like make our way through a little bit. We have a collection of totems and like, oh wow. Okay, this is neat. I like this vibe here. So, we're walking into like this certain kind of collection room, all right? So we're walking in and we're walking past like whoever owns this place, a bit of their history. Books collected, notes they've taken, trophies that they've found, food, sure. But yeah, this feels like a walk through history, a somewhat cluttered walk through history. This feels cool. Yeah, that's really neat. Lots of like small objects. And I saw some clickable shelves here, so I gotta satisfy my curiosity just a bit. Nope, nothing here. Yeah, this is like an oddly shaped room. So unless it was like carved out, yeah, I shouldn't expect anything there. But it's like, okay, sudden mole machine. Right there. And spilled, oh no. Okay, they spilled wine, right? So let's go through. So now I'm going through this little closet space. Again, like really tight on the setup. Very large closet. Like, look how tall things are. I think those are like normal heights of stuff, though. Um, yeah, some lantern work there, some lighting. But now, one more secret shelf will lead us to, oh, a twist. So, over on that section is a. Okay, I don't think I was able to access that part of the place, right? Let me double check. Yeah, I don't think I could. It was like kind of closed off there. Oh no, yeah, there is. So I go through here. Whoop. Aha. A somewhat secret. So over here, we have like some sinistery stuff happening. So here we are doing our dark work. There's our portal to who knows what. But then on this other side, we have this oh no. We got some old school blood elf work happening here. Well, okay, not even that, because we got fell stuff happening on the other end there. But we want to watch because it's pleasant while we're doing our work. Well, that's just kind of how it goes when you're experimenting with possibly dangerous world-ending magics. All good. All right. So, through the portal, plus beams, looks like, or some framing. What do we get? Ooh, nice. I love this effect, man. Every time I see it, it's always gonna be like, ooh, kind of vibes. Now in this case, we have like some older shells we're working with. But I always love like the whole shaping and everything and how this works. Now in this case, very fell. I've seen usually arcane depictions of this, but we have like the fell swirlies happening. The lighting effects are super, super strong with the greens. I feel like I'm like melting here. And then here's where the effect's coming from. We have like the rotating globe map thing that's coming from I forget which class, Demon Hunters probably. And then through the other side of the portal. Oh. Oh my. Whoa. Okay, there is a thing there. What is okay? I'm looking at a lot. Holy cow. So we came out through here, right? We came, well, yeah, we came out through here, and now we've entered like, you know, some other dimensional spot, and things aren't going so great. So there's like Legion stuff happening up above. It's like Legion ships are coming in, but they're waging war on the void or something like that. This huge tentacles coming out, ready to like stab whoever's nearby. And then meanwhile over here we have like this other like crazy monstrosity. Oh wow. Okay, we're gonna be climbing up there in a bit, but I'm just like, dude, the work on this thing. So it feels like this is like not a gazebo, but like an entire shape that's creating like this whole void monster thing. Oh wow. Oh wow, dude. But then the planet or world we're on, you know, it's like it's this whole other place. It's under attack, and like this whole void fell thing, like they're duking it out here. So we're gonna climb up this staircase. Oh, that's so neat. And then right up here, they're going after the lights, obviously. Ooh, and it's not doing so great. It's defenseless. It's on its way to getting captured. Okay, now let's take a look at this freaking. Okay, it's like a single like void tentacle monstery thing, and I think that's okay. Maybe that's not like a body thing. It's just like a structure or something like that. Maybe a deployment zone for like other creatures to come in, because we have like this whole, you know, we have this divide here, right? It's here. I'm trying to zoom out a little bit. You know, so here's like this other like dimension that's sort of like breaking in and threatening this area here. Oh, that's dope, dude. That's dope. So check out the shaping of this here. Filigree lights are like lining the whole thing, and oh, that's so eerie. How you put it together and create like each of these tentacle things. And if you take a look, you know, they're all rotated in a certain way too, to like have this sort of congruent and an even look. But then the whole base of it is just crazy. Like paving stones are lining up this whole thing like scales, like it's this rock beast or something like that. Plus the filigree lights to give it that whole, you know, if this was in space, this would look like almost transparent, except for like the little starry glows on it, which produces like this really gnarly effect. That's so cool, dude. Oh wow. So here's like more of the, so it's like this 5-star tentacle thingamajigger. There's like its eyeball. This happened, so this is in fact just a void gazebo. And yeah, here's like the reality being tore up as it's coming in. That's so cool. Yeah, it's a great action shot. A really, really great action shot. And then is there anything like down here? Yeah, it's just like some other like setups here. Yeah, candles. Just wow. What a room. Holy cow. Oh, dude, check it out up there too. Oh, that's so sick. Check out the moon. The moon got took by another one of those things, by an embiggened creature. Unless the moon's that small. No, it's not that small. But yeah, that damn. Damn. That's so good. That is so good. Yeah, I want to see it from the top again. You know, so let's get a closer look at this thing, shall we? Oh boy. So, yeah, there it is. Oh man. Yeah, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Then here's like the zoom out again. Sheesh. Big sheesh. Oops. Yeah, this is amazing work. Amazing work on setting this up. And they made sure to like cover all the details too. So like even like the ground here where they're busting through, you know, they made sure that each of these were covered. You know, so you have the stars down below, even places where like I'm definitely not going to like look there normally, but they made sure to put that detail in. That's yeah, very, very thoughtful. Oh, was it a severed tentacle? Not that one. Not that one. Yeah, where did I see it? I must have missed it. Above. Was it? Wait, was it this one that was severed? Uh, I mean, that one's being attacked or something like that. Not full. Okay, it's not fully severed. Just okay. 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 Oh, that's good though. That's good. Yeah. 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 There we go. It's being yeah. So that one's being attacked for sure. So it's almost like they're defending. They're defending a Legion world or something like that. Yeah. I can't linger around this room for too much longer, but just incredible work. Really, really good. The moon was just like a as if I wasn't already like wowed enough. Sheesh. So good. So good. All right. So back through the void portally stuff. I'm sorry, Legion portally stuff. And we'll make our way all the way back to the entrance here. So I'll jog it. All right. And now we go into Emerald Dreamland right up ahead. So we're in water, apparently. So we're kind of like hopping from stone to stone, admiring the sights as we walk through, and then things open up. Ooh, to this immediate, like really heavy naturey style room. So we're outdoors now. This is going to be the end of the road. So let's admire all the work being done here. So really cool work that's being done here by taking these lampposts, having them stick out to be roots for the cherry blossom tree right here on this spot. So we come out and we have these huge arches that are set up that do a great job of obscuring the view. Yeah. And then in the middle here, so it looks like we're kind of like, well, we're probably going to be climbing this like this big rock structure here. But again, like we have like these huge roots. So I'm guessing this is like just one big tree, and we have like roots coming out here. They're kind of going down into the ground. But yeah, lots of naturey stuff. We have these different little Herondar lights that are being used as, okay, yeah, we just have like little animals that are like populating, hanging out, doing their thing. Ooh, okay, it's not just a structure, it's a cave. Oh, so we are straight up in. Oh, okay, this is a cool vibe. I very this has some really strong like, hey, we're in Herondar now. Really strong vibes. That's sick. So like I'm looking at this thing, and it's something that I should be familiar with, but I'm not, unfortunately. Some sort of surface structure, but uh yeah, wow, what a setup. And we have all these like these feel like different greens too. I'm less familiar with these. But they're being used really heavily. So maybe I just haven't used these myself. Um, but I love the work that's being done here. Lots of like these different murals that's being used too. 1, 2, 3 times at least. This looks like the Arkandor leaves, actually. Yeah, so lots of good use of different greens that I have not seen be utilized before. Yeah, that's good. That is so good. Notice up here we have what appear to be like rug rolls, but maybe they're being used up above, and they have to be clipping down here. But actually, well, maybe no big difference, because they could have used rocks here, but did not. But I just like this effect. That looks really cool. Like it has this feel of like plates that are being sectioned off, or like scales, kind of like that. And then you have like the kind of core of like the tree, and it's like coming out, rising up above. Big old flower right there too, as kind of the roof. That's neat. Check out the. Okay, yeah, this is a really good shot too. Okay, I haven't taken enough screenshots. Like this is like I definitely gotta like run back really quick and like take more. But yeah, really cool setup with the multiple waterfalls coming down there as well. Really, really pretty. Damn. Yeah, this is some great work. Love the tree work. But now let's do this climb here. So going up paved steps, hallways with these rocks here, and then opens up a bit, just a bit. But we have more of this climb. Green, lots of hostas. It's kind of spilling all over the place, coming out of the stepping stones. Love the glows too. It looks great. Tons of cherry trees though too. So we have like this one place to kind of like chill, relax here. And oh dude, yeah, the look of this. Oh, really good. What a contrast from what we saw from the previous room. And if any, actually the contrast between all three of these rooms, really strong themes. But the depictions are, they're like masterful. Like check out how this moon well is being set up. You start off with just the bowl, but then paving stones over and over and over and over again. Usually I'll see something like just rocks, but in this case, paving stones are doing that sort of work to create, because they're smaller and it helps to create like this entire shape. Turn it around, we have more waterfall action here. Oh, this is goddamn. Holy moly. Yeah, let's do the zoom out here. Yeah, dude, what a creation here. It's so natural. Looks so good. The cherry blossoms, they do a lot to enhance. Even with regular trees though, like you can create like this really, really awesome look to it. But the little animations here, they definitely add to it. For sure. Whew. It's like this really cool sanctuary compared to the void attack place we were looking at, especially. Yeah, so check it out. Rocks, 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 and then we have fountain 1, fountain 2. I think that's a shop fountain as well. And then other fountains are being utilized here, to create additional effects with just lots of greens to help create that, help tell that quick story of like where the water is coming from and how it's flowing. Oh, this one's from the Herondarn dungeon. Okay, nice. And then it bleeds down to the waterfall that's down here that we were looking at just earlier. Dude, this is an amazing place. Wow, like. Sheesh. I don't have a favorite. Anyone have a favorite? My favorite is yes. Because like each of these shots are just breathtaking. I don't know how I would do a thumbnail for this. It's like which screenshot do I choose? I don't know. But I gotta do a quick lap and like take a few more shots here. I don't think I'll be able to decide like which thing I want to have as like, my favorite. I would say this one, like the crypt. I even love this too, because it feels like it has like a certain kind of like this sort of solemn energy. Again, like what was I saying earlier? Like a celebration of life. And then of course you have like, these very opulent, these like huge structures here. Like the workup with this window, I'm sorry, with the ceiling here is just insane. And then we're gonna zip back to Arcane Land real quick. Yeah, the work that's being done here too, like lots of details. So of course, not surprised that we're filled up on the budget and everything. But yeah, just a structure like this. Oh man. Like, one screenshot does not do it justice. It's just a question of like, okay, which screenshot do I use? I don't know. None of them will do it so great. But yeah, so good. Thank you for showing us your place, man. All right. And thank you for inviting us. All right. Next, we're going to Akmed's place. That's not the name. So for those who are joining us late or whatnot, I'm going to do an interview with the developers who are setting up Decor Duels, which is one of the patch features coming in the 1205. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to chime in. Let me know. I'll go through the chat later on today, and I'll see if there's any other curious questions the team that we have for the team. I don't expect it to be like a long interview. I'm not gonna be trying to go at it with like, ooh, let's get them with the hard hitting questions and all that. It's just gonna be more like, hey, dude, hey, new features coming out. Let's celebrate. Let's talk about it. Get excited over it, and that's it. So it's gonna be fairly surface, but I'm not coming at this particular game mode with a lot of experience because I don't know anything about like prop hunts and stuff. I'm just kind of like learning it for the first time. So if people have like specific questions that they might want to know, hey, chime in. Feel free. Now something to so Amir Cat's saying like I almost have the same type of sanctuary going on, but definitely not this detail. Makes me want to go back and rework it. I would say like like finish what you want to do. So like you saw, so like here, let me speak for myself. The whole cafe setup that I have right now, I don't like it. Um, um, I'm not so fond of like the whole journey and story that I'm telling, but I'm gonna complete it. Like I want to be done. That way I can do like a nice, healthy retrospective of like what I've done and like things that I'm like, okay, maybe I'll do this later, or maybe I'll like do it differently next time. But this is in case you're not done with yours. Um, complete it, make it something that you feel like, okay, cool, I'm done, and then like see what sorts of lessons there are to learn from it. Of course, it's very helpful to like see what other folks are doing as well. But sometimes that can be discouraging too. It's like it might come to the point where it's like, oh, if they did it like this, cool. And since I've only gone this far, maybe I can like stop where I'm at and like redo it. That's one way of learning things if you want to. I know that for me, like I at least want to complete my whole thoughts, knowing that it's mine, and then I'll like take a step back and be like, okay, so what did I like? What did I not like? Because if I don't give myself that chance to learn from what I've been doing, that kind of disrupts my whole learning process. But yeah, again, that's just me. So. The more decor and building root type they're gonna add will make you want to redo your place. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing too. You want to be like, oh, dude, look at all these new greens that have come out. I'm gonna want to do this and this and this, right? So, hey, my dungeon, but I'm gonna finish it, then redo it when I figure it out better, learn from my mistake. And sometimes, like as you're doing your build, you're like, okay, I learned a lot, like a new technique. So you're gonna find that as you're doing the build, you'll see like what you've completed first and then what you worked on later, and it's okay, I really like how my technique has improved as I was building and finishing the spot. So you could be pretty surprised. Gonna clear my stuff. I'll be right back. All right. Yay. Do 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 do. All right, folks. This is Akmed's place. We're over in Founders, and we're being greeted by Sylvanas. Actually, real quick, I'm not entirely sure. Is this Sylvanas or Illyria? Because I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Could be either. Could be both. It could be generic, generic blood elf lady. Could be something like that. But anyway, while you guys answer that, let's admire the work that's being done here. So as we do the approach, we have like this cool spread statues that are flanking us, which feels like a very opulent addition compared to like everything else, because we have like this we're pretty heavy on the folk style here. Things are a little bit fenced off. We have like this market wagon on the side that might have been dropping by, or maybe it's theirs, bought some takeout. And then here on the side, as we kind of like mosey on over, we have double flight points. Everyone's welcome. Cool. Everyone's welcome to fight as well. Want to point that out too. And then we have this big shed kind of spot made for working. So imagine here, like there are mounts, horses, a Brutosaur that wants to peek inside and be like, okay, where's the food? I'm trying to get to it, right? And it might be all stored here or something like that. But yeah, but this is a, kind of an outdoor workshop / stable / farm sort of area. Yeah, so very much like a productivity working spot. But I like how it's done. You have like the big cool Tyrian tent to start off with, and then you just kind of build around that. Trellises to close things off, additional walls as well to create like this, something a bit more solid. But then, the trellises on the side, they're there to still like let some of the light in. And then outside the lot, you have like the extra stuff going on right there. I'm pretty sure that's not part of the lot. Right back here, a mysterious treasure. Interesting. Mysterious treasure, junk right there, and a random rocket that happens to be sitting here. Very curious. Random rocket, chair, rug. There's some sort of purpose behind that. Interesting. What could it be in the future? As we come back across, we'll go back by the wagon, say hi to Ms. Murgle, and then I think we're about ready to head on in. Oh, puppy house. Yay. Hello to Ms. Murgle. Guard dog of sorts. Yeah, let me get some of this tea on. Shoot, I poured tea. I didn't even drink it. Jeez. All right. Gosh. Ooh, it's what is it called? Well, so as soon as we go in, we're greeted with the stars above. That's cute. We have like these little depictions of stars going on right above us, and okay, there's kind of configuration. So this is a certain object that I'm not super familiar with. I don't think I'll be able to like zoom up and like really see it, but yeah, I'm curious what that object is to create that depiction of stars. I think I just saw something falling. Oh, I think these are goblin string lights. Yeah. That's pretty good. For like additional stars. I mean, some people, they'll use like the little sparkly tailoring banner. People will use that. I've seen lots of filigree lights, but in this case, we have string lights. String lights here, string lights there, filagrees as well. Some candle work happening there too. Very spacious, medium-sized room as soon as we come in. But then when we turn around, we have a building mouse door. It feels like a mouse door. Because I think I've seen shorts and whatnot of this particular effect because of the gradient lights. You have the weather effects that are coming from the ethereal prison. But, the quick breakdown, lots of beam work. Lots of beamwork. Shells right over there. What kind of shells are those? I think those are like plain shells, but yeah, lots of beams that are tracing the that are tracing the frame here. Uh, Baskets that are being used as like big old doorknobs. We also have these pitchforks. Yeah, pitchforks that are being used, and one more pitchfork right down the center. Nice. Yeah, very clean shaping there. Do I fit properly? Yeah, I fit just fine. It's a little narrow if you're opening like one door at a time, but we're fine. I like the work here too. Like nice smooth colors with this alliance blue. It's all matching. But then we are invited to, put our stuff down, put down our umbrellas and whatnot, pet the puppy as soon as we go. Dude, there's a seat right there. And he's like, no, I'm gonna be up here with you, boss. Because that's what puppies do. And lions as well. They're like, we're gonna sit where we like sitting. Ha ha ha. We're not scared of no dragon. This is our house, right? But yeah, once again, very spacious entrance that we have here. Some cool looking stuff going on over there. But first off, in each corner, we have like a little bit of lived in-ness here. Curiously enough, though, we saw a lot of heavy alliance flavor. In this case, we have a Forsaken table, as if they looted that at some point. Back here, we have kind of a bar and kitchen area. Close that guy real quick. With this very tight spread. Nothing too crazy either. We have like these taller cabinets that are being elevated, all lined up as if the studs here and the framing here is being used as a platform. You even have like some additional. Actually, we have like this additional weapon rack that's being used as a way to just like hang pots and pans and like what have you. But yeah, really tight sink setup. Yeah, that works out pretty good. The elven tables do a good job of turning this corner into a space. Food's out, folks are having a good time, all good. And right up above, you can see, oh, that's darling. That's cute. You have a little object, whatever it is, that's being used to make this crescent moon. And, yeah, the crescent moon, actually, I think it might be the well itself. Yeah, at first I was like, okay, there's a shape there, and then you have the moon well, but I think it might be the actual moon well that's doing it. Yeah, that's neat. Then you have, of course, the filigree lights to set up that glow. Nice and warm. As we go into this hallway, now we got my kind of stuff. Paladin fanism. Bright lights, pictures of our heroes, the greatest of all time. Okay, not really. I'm the greatest paladin of all time. What are we talking about? But yeah, some really awesome dedications here in this hallway. But then what? We have a not so secret shelf that leads us to brown. Okay, here's what's really going on with the lights. Kinks. Yeah. Here, let me close this door. Sorry, fam. Papa's got work going on here. So lights are a little bit lower. We got light work as well. not just lights, but spotlights. So somewhere here is a camera. I'm gonna look around for a hidden camera. But yeah. So we got that sort of spread, right? Cute. And dude, those whips are there, sheesh. I hope these are just plushies and not like animal fun time, right? Let's go with just plushies, right? Keep it somewhat tasteful. Cause hey, I ain't gonna shame nobody. We got this. Oh, hey, cool. Pole dancing. Nice. Very unsafe too, because it has nothing to brace itself against. So when you get to the top here and you start doing the dance, it'll start to wiggle, and that's not good. So, and then, oh, here it is. Yep. Oh, and look at that. Angled just perfectly to get all the action here. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. So here's the spread. No picture of Xalatath up there. Okay, it's all good. So this is what happens with paladins, light worshippers behind closed doors. Now, does this lead to anywhere else additional? Sure does. But nothing too crazy. So we have this interesting setup where we have this kind of like rock themed ceiling, and we got our tub. There's no any shower. Nope, we just got the tub. Actually, no, I'm sorry. We have a standing shower plus bathtub. So do all the good stuff, have a soak, wash off, grab our clothes, good to go. Here's the loo. How are we sitting? We're hanging. We're dangling just a little bit. But that's the blood elf life. That's just kind of how it goes. So let's see what's on the other end here. Actually, I'm pretty sure there's nothing behind this unless it's just a shroud for something else. Yeah, so this is a rounded room. Don't expect anything behind there unless there's like hidden text. I'll sometimes like kind of keep an eye out for that just in case. And then through this shroud is, oh, all of a sudden, you know what? I find this really charming. I find this really charming because it's just a fence. It's nothing crazy. It's not stone walls. It's not a pagoda. It's not a huge assortment of greens. I mean, these trees are massive, right? Nothing like that. It's just a wooden fence, as if, this is as if next door there was just another house, as if we're in like this sort of like suburban area. So I find there to be a certain charm with this whole pool setup. I mean, it's a very grand pool. This is huge. Check out the fountain work on this thing. So you have like that's how like some of the stuff is being piped in and out for the whole water circulation and everything. Boom, we jump in, have some snacks, float on something or other. And then in other places, we have a little bit of a food set up here, some snackies that are being set, some backyard greens here on the side. And we can see a little bit of what's on the outside, at least from like this point of view. If we zoom out, what do we see? A little bit of immersion breaking, but I think like this is like the intended angle. And I like this angle. Like I said, it feels very charming because of its simplicity. It's just a fence. It's just a house. And then next door is like another house. So I like that. I really do like that. All right. So cool pool setup though, because they skin like pretty much the whole outdoor spot. You can see the platforms all over, and then the pool itself, just skinned with beams. So nice, effective setup. Cool. Actually, it might be kind of dangerous because like you have like that ribbed edge right there, so you might like trip and like bust your feet and all that. So details, right? Details. Let's not be too nitpicky. So now, funny enough, this is what happens in secret behind the paladin wing, which is kind of funny because it would be totally accessible from the outside. You just hop the fence. That's it. So the story would be, all right, kids, let's go outside, and then everyone goes through the front door when they want to go to the pool, but then dad or the parents or whatnot, they go through here. Mom, Dad, how can we always go out through that side? Shut up, son. We'll see you at the pool and all that. And then when it's time to go in, they go in through the front. Interesting. Very interesting. So we're returning to the main room. We're going to probably go through this end next, and then we'll go through the big shroud. Kind of curious. We have both Horde and Alliance rugs over there, so we might see some cool faction-y kinds of stuff. As for this way, ooh, people haven't really been here in a bit. So we're kind of like navigating through this unvisited spot. Very curious. To have like the signage down here slanting down in this way, it's kind of a cool angle. You know, let's uh let's let's suspend disbelief and not worry about these insignias here. You know, we can have like multiples of these. Now, something curious to point out, these signs are really cheap. If I recall correctly, um, like the one that I got for blacksmithing, I can buy more of them for just 5 gold. That's it. Just 5 gold. Which means you can potentially like use those things and just buy like a bajillion of them and do like some weird stuff with just these signposts. Oh, so those are the deaths from the spots you'll look at later. All right. But clearly, like, just kind of this kind of like trophy room of all who have come before. Oh, and then we have this grand climb. Oh, really interesting. This is a very interesting climb. You know, we have like this slight angle, then a straight line up, right? And it's a very good climb. It's very like the stairwork was great. But this door is like screaming in front of me. So what's this? So under the stairway, we got a little tavern set up. Snacks, we got wine, we got shots. Really cool. Oh, and of course trophies. Congrats on AOTC. Well done. And then on the other, yeah, okay. So here's here's the other side of the stairwell. So this is just kind of like the whoops. You know, that's just kind of like how that goes. Here we have like piping for like wine, electric wine, and all that. And then this is okay, and then we have like more of the stair work that's happening there too. Okay, so you know, bit of behind the scenes stuff that's happening. I'm sure we'll see something kind of similar on the other side. But kind of cool that we have like this tavern that's under the stairs. That's pretty neat. All right, so let's begin the climb. You know, notice the angling here. You know, it's like a 30-ish, 40-ish degree climb. So nice and smooth. We get to the top and we reach an art gallery. Nice. Really nice. Let me double check. Oh, that's a way up too. Okay. So, oh, and another way up. Wow. So a double grand climb. I'm going to peek really quick. Yeah, so a little bit higher. Wow. That's a lot of table work, dude. A lot of table work. So there's going to be more to climb here because notice we're on this lower roof. We're not reaching like the top of this stairwell quite yet. But yeah, nice artisty place. I believe, I might be mistaken here, but I believe these are mirrors actually. I don't think these are like paintings, standalone paintings, but I think they are, you know, just kind of like clipped in. But these, I'm sorry, these are canvases, and then the mirrors here are being used as frames. Nice. That's pretty nice. And then here we have like more standalone objects here. Yeah. Oh, so these are like frames. Okay. Nice. 5K, not so nice. But that's how that goes. That's how that goes. All right. So I think we're ready to climb up a little bit higher. I'm pretty sure the climb on the other side's the same. And then, ooh, this very grand library setup. Oh boy. I don't think we'll be able to like see what's behind it, right? Because it was like other stuff. Okay, we can cheat. If I do this, haha, the illusion. Okay, anyway, we'll leave that alone. This is fine. But yeah, we have like this whole grand, like summony sort of like library kind of setup. That's cool. That's hella cool. But then we also have a secret shelf back here, which leads us to Do do do. What do we have here? Weapon storage, couch storage, building mouse window. It's kind of funny how it like sits here. A great looking window in this kind of like what is, at least at the moment, like a whole storage kind of spot. Actually, I think the way it might be set up, unless this is a actually no, it's not a closet. This is a T-shaped room. They could always move it elsewhere too. I like what they did here though. They took these elven beds and that's what's being used as the trim. You know, a lot of folks they'll take like couches, they'll take beams and like dress them up and all that. No, in this case, just let me just like drop some beds right on this spot, and that's pretty effective. Like here's the shot. Yeah, I think that works out really well. Cool. You know, nice simple setup with getting the hostas to hide any like additional clipping or to just kind of fill out space. But then we have like this classic look of like having the trellises up front, the mirrors, followed by what I believe are, you know, this is the old style. So this is like a bunch of picture frames being used as the lines. Yeah. Now, this is a war room waiting area. Let's see what's in the war room itself. Boom. Ah. So we have this cool celebration, this cool warband celebration. Hello, archer person. Oh, and another one. Nice. More statues. I mean, not really depictions of characters. That'd be kind of fun to see like a whole bunch of these a whole bunch of these guys that are like in chairs or something like that, as if they were NPCs. That'd be kind of fun. But yes, here's where the war is being managed. Tactics and all that. And then notice how like this is like has like a strong alliance blue-ish to it. Nice. Upside down rug, so we can like at least get some of the texturing down there, but without having like the big old head peeking out. Yeah, nice. Now I have noticed, I pointed this out in an earlier visit, but it's been more and more popular for whenever possible. I don't think it would be possible in a room this size, but a lot of folks now, they're taking the razor wind fountain, flipping that dude over, and then dyeing that one of the colors here to encompass like really large areas. Again, it might not work for this particular size room, but it's been a popular thing that folks have been picking up more and more on. So let's go ahead and retreat a little bit. Actually, I think we need to retreat a lot a bit. So we're climbing down. Actually, let me go this way. So we're back here. Back through the less visited spot. And now we're invited to go through the mid. Let's see what, oh, dude, piano. Check this out. I totally like missed this part. Okay, this one's cool. Okay, this is a pretty cool variation of piano. So here we have these fence posts and fences being used here. And I think we have like the underside of like a certain table structure. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it because it has that certain design, that certain texturing to it, as opposed to like, okay, it's just wood or something like that. So this is pretty grand. Now, I'm on a really tall stool of sorts. I mean, look how I look like a baby. Yeah. I totally look like a child sitting on this thing. But hey, it fits. It fits. It has everything that we need. So I think this is a really good job. It's a we can call it a standing piano, but it's more like a climbing piano for Blood Elves. But yeah, awesome. Awesome work on this. All right, so now let's go through the middle here. And what are we revealed with? We get, boom. Ooh. Oh. Welcome to the arena, folks. Nice. So it's this nice wide open spot. Challengers come from one side or the other. And only one leaves. There's no cover. There's no line of sight. It's just you, the opponent, and glory. And the audience who's like cheering you on or like cheering you to lose or like whatever. So simple setup, just stools. And it's perfect because, excuse me, whoever wins or loses or whatever, you see them, oh, boo. And, we don't know if it's a fight to the death or not. Well, let's pretend it's not. Like duel ends and then like the horde person loses. They fall to one knee. Everyone's like, boo. And then they grab their stool and they just like, bam, they just like chuck it at them, right? Perfectly acceptable audience response. Now, the other thing too is if the winner gets it, but then they're not the desired winner, same thing. Boo, they always win. And then they start chucking chairs or stools at the dude. That'd be sick. That would be sick. So each seat is angled to allow a center point view. So. Oh, yeah. I notice it here. So you have these rotations that are kind of pointed in these kinds of directions. Very thoughtful. Very, very thoughtful. Because you don't see it often. Like sometimes you'll see, we've seen arena style seating, where it's like, okay, it's just like, one side's here and then there's no angle. It's just like, going in all the same direction. And I'm not going to do a seat check for like everybody. That'd be kind of, I'm not here to grade people, right? But you can sort of tell like the direction from the way that these orientations are set up. They put in the time and thought to make sure that everyone's sitting correctly. Very cool. Notice how here the stands are being drawn with these Pandoran walls on the side. Oh, really awesome work with like the additional pennants and flags and whatnot too. That's sick. Yeah, it's really good. And right now, no blood. I was kind of expecting, like blood stains and like you'll see like stretchers or enchanted brooms that are cleaning up puddles of blood, something like that. All right. And did I miss anything? I don't see. Yeah, there were no notes left, but were there any other, were there hidden spots that I did not see? Because I think I've seen everything. So we'll back up a little bit. Yeah, that was so. This is where the arena challengers go when they're done. So I guess it was, I guess it was a fight to the death. And then here's like the whole rack of like bodies. Nice. Well, yeah, nice place, dude. Thanks for letting us visit. Yeah, really cool spot. Love the paladin stuff, of course. Nice story with the pool too. So it's like those who had finished, the fighters who won. All right, guys, you can go back to the pool with us. And then the kids are like, no, no, don't go through there, guys. Go through the front because mommy and daddy, they do weird stuff back there. All right. All right, so let's start teleporting to the next spots. I'll check the news really quick too. 23. Any news? Mop Classic. Expect joyous journeys until April 21st. So some classic stuff, some classic news. But yeah, I'll be right back. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm still finding a bit of the congestion and all that. Right. All right, cool. How's everyone's week going, by the way? I just need a few minutes to like do a quick mental reset and then have some tea. Everyone's week going okay so far? So far, mine's been going great. There's cool stuff to look forward to. There's the dev interview that will be posting. I don't know when I'm gonna be doing it later this week, but it's gonna post like over the weekend or after the weekend's over. But yeah, cool stuff. Yay! Ooh. Yeah, I think I'm at around like I think around 85%. Just got to get rid of like a little minor coughing. I've done like usually I stay sick for longer. Usually I'm sick for like 2, 3, like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. It takes me a while to recover. This time around, oh man, I must have been really on top of it, on top of shit. Ooh. All right. I think my body is ready. Ready for fun stuff. Oh boy. Oh wow. All right, folks, welcome to Virus's Place, Roving Founders, and we have this very heavily skinned place. What a cool style. So it's been marbled up from top to bottom. Well, okay, not top, because you still have like you still have the human roofs. But everything else, like, it's very, very hidden. You have some evidence of the roofing. That's about it. It's about all you get. Otherwise, you have like this, very white tiling up here at the top with these gazebos. And then you have a lot of these platforms being used pretty much all over the place, all surrounding the spot. And in this case, it's covering like the entire area. There's no soft underbelly that reveals the truth. I mean, the closest thing might be this right here, but that's about it. But yeah, very interesting. I'm not familiar with like the style of stuff. So like some people they can identify like, okay, it's that kind of house style. I'm not that educated yet, so I'm not entirely sure like if this is trying to go for like a certain look, but it just looks neat. Let's go with that. Yeah, skinned all around, and then there's still more available budget for like a bunch of greens to add some additional color to it. Because otherwise it would be a pretty straight white plus the privacy screens that you see dotted around here for windows. But it makes for just a bigger place, right? Otherwise you have like this kind of like box area here that would be the house. Here you have like these meaningful extensions. Looks Italian to you? All right. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, cool spot so far. And as for what's inside, I have no idea. Let's see. I have no notes. So, oh wow. Okay, so the inside definitely matches with the outside so far. We have like this very, very marbled spot. We do have like the original floorings here, but then the rest, very, very dressed up. So like, for example, like the front door here, you can still see the actual front door there. But you have the iron window plus some benches here to adorn like this really nice, pleasant looking gate that we kind of like climb into. So not quite sure how we're entranced in because, doors don't typically work like that, but it's still really pretty. Like, check this out. Like, I like this. This looks really neat. So this wall section here, you just have like the wall. You know, that's the actual wall. Painting portrait is right there, but then you have the elven benches that are being used here to dress the side of it. And then notice here you have like top and bottom where you have these beams plus like these other beams, one, two, three of them to create this pillar work. You know, and it has that illusion of being built like, you know, right inside. That's neat. That's neat. So you have the same kind of thing happening here with the Air Tour portrait. That's a cool style. That's a very, very cool style. I've seen the benches. Benches, they're quite versatile. They're used for all sorts of things. But I really like how it's being done here to create like this sort of like center portrait. And then as we go in, things open up. Wow. Oh boy. This place is rich. Really neat. And then I'm taking peeks at the side there, and it's dude, this theme is very consistent. Wow. That's really cool. So check out the pillar work that's being done here. So like here's an, you know, we're gonna see this quite a bit. You know, we have like 3 pillars that are like, you know, pushed together. And then we have like different kinds of elven tables that are being used. One's right side up, the other one's upside down. You can kind of sort of see the surface of it, like right down there. But it's being used as the feet and the hat of these pillars. So you have this really clean, elegant look, really soft colors. You know, you have like a little bit of boldness there, but that's about it. Yeah, you're not seeing anything too crazy. So I'm gonna do a climb, but we're gonna be exploring the other wings first. So I at least want to look up here. So we climb up. You know, we have the soft colors of the Arcane door plus some additional greens and hostas that are back there. We get to the top, and we can kind of, oh, check that out. Whoa! So there's something that pops. Here, let me back up really quick, and we have like a shot like this. That's neat. So I was talking about this a little earlier, how you can use like blood elf structures to create like these really neat designs and patterns. So in this case, we have different uses of their trellises. You know, because you have like these curved colors and you can just kind of like, you know, merp them together to create these neat designs. And then at the, you know, at the tip of each of these, you just have a bottle lamp being used there. Kind of cool because they all have the same they're all being animated the same, so it has like this cool like flickering pattern. Yeah, fairly simple shape, but it's pretty neat. All right, so we're gonna climb back down now, and we'll admire more of the work upstairs, don't worry. But I want to take a look at the other wings. Actually, I want to take a look at the rest of this room because there's a bit more. So like check out this here. You have like 4 elven tables, 2 trellises, 1 up, 1 down, plus 1, I'm not sure which kind of candelabra that is, but I like how it ends up like fitting. You know, you have, you gotta like kind of like think about, okay, here's like the base of the candelabra. It's being used right there, but it seems to fit. You know, to me, I'm convinced that, you know, that it's a part of it. And I can like let him get away with it. It's still pretty cool. Here you have the flower box being used with this upside down curved table. And again, like I was mentioning this a little bit earlier, like the pillow work. Really neat. Really neat. Now the thing with like blood off architecture, again, you can make these really clean concepts like that thing there. Okay, I got to go straight to this because this is a really neat take on a stairwell case. So, okay, I got to find where to climb first, but so we're going up. It's a fairly, it's not too tight of a climb. It's like almost 40-ish, but I like what's being done here. This is a cool concept. Haven't seen this before. When you're going up and you have like these pillars being set up. That's sick. That's really cool. All right, so I'm going to retreat a bit. We'll start taking a look around here proper. And we have like this really cool kitchen and living room setup. We go back to the kitchen spot. This is like the cool. that's like this is like the coolest stove for just like a soup. This is the coolest that I've seen, man. You know, very liberal use of the curved benches from here at the base to like these arches, arches, and then you got the cool lighting effect. It's not coming from anything in particular. Like you can see some glow coming from the aqua windows. You can see some glows coming from the filigrees, aqua windows again. But you have like this cool pattern. Yeah, that's neat. That's really neat. And then here you have this very heavily kit bashed kitchen, or at least it looks heavily kit bashed. So starting off with this bar setup here, you know, once again you have like the crazy pillar plus one bar table, and then we have this fridge, which is okay. That's cool. So you have your pillar as like the base, but then you have canvases. You have blank canvases being used like right up front. Boom, boom. Plus these fence posts being used as the handles. Then you have like your cool little wreath magnets hanging up, you know, to hang there. The stove here, another heavy item. We're starting off with an embiggen crate plus a smaller crate from the consortium. It's being used there as a storage sort of thing. That's cool. And that's kind of it. It's like those two pieces, and that covers a lot. You know, it doesn't have the whole functional open up or anything, but it's cool that it's like a glass case, right? So you can see what's inside. Burners and gauges, nice and simple, you know, easy setup. You have your low, you know, once again, you have your, you know, even altitude, I guess. You know, you have this consistency here with the shelving. Right down here, though, you have your cool sink. Oh, that's cute. They set up this whole troll fountain as the faucet, and you have like your lever as well. Yeah, really good use of these crates, and that's all they are. Crate. You know, for both storage, and it has like it has a cool look to it as well. And then we have like the same pattern in here too. Like, notice how you have like this consistent pattern of sorts. But as for what's here on this side, so here's like food prep. Big old thing for, I don't know, rolling pin or like very immaculate hand towels or something like that. Grinding up stuff for probably smoothies or drinks, or drying them up to like make teas with. Very cool. Yeah, neat patterns, man. Really neat patterns. Like even this thing right here. It's just beams. Nothing too crazy. Just beams, shapes put together. But the way these lights dance is very neat. So you have like a certain green. I don't know where the green's coming from actually. But yeah, there's a green there. You know, green, purple, blue. And I think that's intended to create this you know, this effect of like all these different colors. That's so cool. That's so cool. And then notice we have places to sit, enjoy drinks, have snacks. Cool. There's like 3 chairs and then a bench that's being used, and look like, hey, cool, now we have a couch. It's a very unfriendly couch though, I gotta say. Because like you lean back and then you can only really can sit like 1, 2, 3 people. You can't just like lounge around because you have those you have those frames that'll end up being really uncomfortable. So let's do this climb. And once again, like notice how the light's reflecting off back at us. It's a very curious rug roll that's chilling there. I don't know if it's intended actually, but oh, check this out. So we elevated. So this is like, I guess like an upstairs dining room of sorts, because we didn't really see a proper place to like sit and eat there. So someone's climbing up and bringing us food, and we're all sitting around at this table. Once again, you know, very immaculate, it's very clean setup. It's almost sterile in a sense. Like this particular room, at least. Then outside, we have a view of Sassy Dragon. Always an attractive addition to any house. Plus a big fluffy moon. Big fluffy moon. Moonbeams coming in. You know, nice work on the lighting there. Again, very clean. Almost too clean. So now, I think we're gonna. Okay, there's quite a bit over there, and I think what we're looking at here. I think this is a theater we're looking at. Yeah. Now, very interesting to have like a theater that is like all marbled white. But that's what we've got. So there's our projector, there's our screen. You know, and again, very blocky, very simple shapes here. Four of those canvases are being used once again. But yeah, all white. So very interesting that it's using like this whole vaulted ceiling, but I think there's no like vaulted white that you can get away with. So they need to have something. And then in a movie theater, you know, pretty appropriate. Hopefully this all like little darken up is needed. It looks like they added like another like light source or two here to create like a sort of glow. Just don't know what it is though. Now these lamps though, these seem to be producing like quite a bit of light that seems to be stretching out that far, which I'm not too sure about. There might be some additional lights that might be fused in and we can't see, but they're there for the sake of creating texture. So let's walk through here, through the kind of like suspended nets. Yeah, and so there it is again with the rug rolls. So I guess it's just kind of there to, you know, add some minimal texture to the space. Note the pillars once again, very cool. And now we're this is a balcony spot. Oh, so this is how it all meets together. Okay. So we started off in that whole dining area. We did the climb, so there's like the stairs there, and then we come back up here. So then we get like a bit of a view of what's going on up here. Here's like the top of the pillar, so you can see like the whole table work there. Still really clean though. Up ahead, there's still quite a journey over there. So I think we're going to go to that wing next, but we'll take the long way down. I want to respect it. It feels like we're in the future, kind of. Like we're like in the future where, for the sake of depicting the future, we have again this kind of like sterile, like very structured look to it. But then we have evidence of life. You know, there's stuff going on. There's stuff being cooked and everything. Things do grow. There are plants. Don't worry about it. Not everything is dead. But now I think I'm gonna go through this side here. And now we're greeted with another like grand climb. So note how we have like, we're going up like these multiple angles here. Really cool. For the most part, we're prevented from going back there. I guess the intent is kind of similar to what we saw from the previous room. We're using these beams to kind of create a surface, but they're not even making any attempt to make it like really solid. As if like that's sort of the design. And I think that works out really cool. Like it feels very intimidating too, because like here we are in this very sterile spot and we're waiting to like be interviewed or something like that. I don't know what's behind the door, but we're waiting to be interviewed or something like that. And you're just kind of like sitting there. You can almost hear yourself breathe with how kind of empty the place feels. And I'm talking about like, you know, color and otherwise life and everything. Yeah, it feels very intimidating. But now let's do this climb real quick. We'll take a peek at what's going on, but we're probably going to go back downstairs in a bit. Yeah, and then we just have like a lead up to the balcony on the other side where we meet back in the middle again. That's all. No biggie. Okay, that's cool. Wow, what is that? It's like this. Okay, that's a really cool shot. That's a really cool shot. Like all of a sudden, you know, in this you know, not very colorful spots. It is, but it isn't. All of a sudden we have, boom, this really big contrast. You know, we have this outdoor depiction. I'm going to try and take a close look if I can. Um, of like this whole tropical area. You got gnomes hanging out. Miss Myrtles are there too. That's adorable. Yeah, let's see if we can. Yeah, I won't be able to take that close of a look, but I'll do my best. Oh, oh wait. Oh, there's a gap there. Oh no. Okay, so hold on. Hold up. Let's make our way back up. And let's try not to fall this time. Okay, so if I can do this here. Maybe? Nah. So we'll stick to this here. Okay, so there's a shaman totem, I think that's back there. And then I think those are like probably 2 barrels that are being used to like make the birds. And then lots of like walking stones to create the illusion of water. That's a really good texture, water texture. They even made a light reflections. You can, it's hard to see here, but you can sort of see the reflections being done there. That's neat. That's really neat. I love the way that you know, you have like the strong lighting here, and then it has that whole gradient of, you know, darkening up because the sun's setting and everything. And then the way the light happens to be bouncing off of that, that's really cool. That's sick. So it's like this nice window of something different in an otherwise, you know, not super colorful spots, but you have like these kinds of sudden creations here. Like, hey, check it out, butterfly. Walking stones, fence posts, a couple of Herodar lights, freaking fell chains for the antenna. And you have like this cool structure. Yeah, that's cute. That's very cute. All right, so I'll explore from up here, and then we'll try to make our way downstairs. Because now we've entered a bedroom. It's very grand because it's in the middle of this room. We lay down, we do our thing. Right up here, we have these curious concoctions. Not entirely sure the purpose that they serve, but we see similar kinds of pillar work being done as well. They're big on these windows. Wow. So obviously, so vain. So vain. Going across here, we got our place to sit, stay warm, and this otherwise place that feels really cold. Suddenly, necromancer kind of book. Very curious. But yeah, the theme on here is it's very eerie, but very, very cool too. You know, because you have like these pops of color in this otherwise, you know, color-wise, very blank looking canvas. I know it's so much white dye, right? Let me double check if there was like any passages or anything that I missed here. I think we're good here because I think we're ready to go back downstairs. Yeah, so we're going to drop down and then go through the door that is below us. It's kind of funny how like sudden that is. No. That's really cool though. That's really, really cool. Oh, I went wrong way. All right, so we climb down back to the first floor, and then right through here. Boop. And we've entered, I think it's the bathroom. Oh, definitely feels like a bathroom. So here's the place where, yeah, arguably we see like the biggest presentation of color in the house. You know, we have some greens, we have paintings, we have like different book styles. We got a big loo. Hey, hey. And they left the book there on the floor of all places. Come on. Keep it clean, folks. Keep it clean. At least we got like a nice big flusher right there. Ooh. Here's our vanity when we're done doing our bathing and everything. So it's just like with some additional color coming from like the sunflower sculpture. I really like this. This is the cool. I like this setup. It's simple. Moon wells, bar table, up some looks like upside down mirrors, and then we have some growth coming out from the mid there. Very cute. Now over on this side, past the flower box, boom, we hit the bath. Or their own bath seats, if you wanted. Nice. Notice how there's a little bit of like water texture towards the bottom. Otherwise, big tub. Do all our stuff. Grab our towel once we're good to go, or not. We can just sit here and dream of Gilneas. Oh, while bathing. But when we're done, we'll get dressed and we're good. But then we go all the way upstairs into bed. So that's kind of an interesting approach. Yeah, very cool setup. Coming in. Now I think that we can go through the center spot, which I believe involves the elevation. So we'll retreat back to the mid. There's nothing back there, I'm pretty sure. I don't see anything. So now we're doing this grand climb once again, but for real this time. Now we're gonna explore what else is going on. So we saw the structure back there. Now we're gonna go this way. Ooh. We're going outside now. And we're going to worship our goddess above. Okay, this is neat. Oh, wow. Whoa, that's good. Oh, that is grand, baby. Wow. Excellent. Excellent work here. Oh, boy. So, wow, what a palace. What a palace. So how does this work? So it starts off, the initial construction is just a whole bunch of platforms, all over the place. And then we start shaping things. We start off at the top with these hats. You have the curved tables, a bunch of fireplaces. You can see it's upside down. It looks kind of goofy, but oh well. One is upside down. The other one is right side up, but sunk into the ground, so you don't really reveal the fire below. So you just have that sort of effect. Add some beams here as like trims, right? Give it some texture. Throw some iron windows with some rugs behind it to give it that feel of light. Add some actual lights, and then take some greens, right? You take a bunch of these greens and you shape them. Actually, this is very well shaped to create this like S climb. That's really good. That's really good. That takes some work to create the proper shaping, because normally it kind of comes like this as kind of a blob. But so they put a lot of effort into making the shaping thing work there. And then you can see how it kind of like descends down on both the left side there, and then here on the right side. And then it becomes like this kind of like a courtyard. Okay, it is a courtyard. But here on the side, it'd be cool if we could get like an actual horizon out there. Then we can like just kind of look below at the rabble, right? Yeah, that's sick. I don't think we're meant to climb up there, right? Yeah, we're not meant to climb up there. But it's just this very grand presentation here. Big fountains, huge thing. You got spotlights to like emphasize, oh, just look at me. Look how hot I am. And very limited places to sit. So it's almost like a worshiping spot. Everyone, all right, gather around, and just stare. Look at my majesty. Oh my goddess. Ah. And that sort of thing. That's cool. That's really cool. So we have like a pretty much, this kind of like sterile palace sort of vibe. It's not like it's totally black and white, but they definitely emphasize like the whites here and then offer the greens as surprise, or like, here's like this, it's a way to make them like just pop so much more. Very cool place. I think I have seen everything, but yeah, very cool. Just want to make sure, just do a quick jog and make sure we're good. I don't think the owner's here, so this is a stairwell room. There's nothing there, and there's nothing there. All right. Cool. Boop. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Next, Valkyrion is next. Do, 11. I hope they can work the outdoor spaces to have another connection to it one day. That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. It would also be kind of not awkward, but I think to myself, the way the shaping of the outdoor rooms are, you got to give it a lot of room. Yeah, you need to give it a lot of like space around it, so that way, um, that way you're able to like actually build things. Now the other thing too, when you think about it, if you're going through, if you're using the outdoor room, I feel like it's only really going to have one purpose to it, and it's going, and that feels kind of limiting. Now, this is me failing to use my imagination to the fullest. I'm sure people will think of like some amazing, amazing things. But when you're going through, like your purpose is um to go through, it kind of limits what you'll be able to do with that room because you have like this kind of like dome shape sort of thing. So you can definitely make a transition courtyard of sorts. Um and I'm sure there are other things that you can do with it. I just yeah, yeah. But having that alone, that's reason enough, right? It is reason enough. So I would like to see that at some point. All right, it's been so this is a revisit, but it's been a few months. Cool. We'll see what I remember. Actually, no, we'll try to not remember. All right. All right, folks, this is Valkyrion's place. We're over in Founders, and let me shift a little bit to my left as we go inside. So from here on the main street, I think that's like someone else's place, or like just right over there. So we're close to like a neighbor. But here we are. Here's our way inside. Oh, hello, frog. Okay, what's up? So you can see the house is like super elevated. It looks like it's being suspended by, pillars and like some trees right over there. But then here's the entrance proper. And who's there? Sassy Dragon. Be like, hello, I guess. So of course, she's always pleased to see us. We have like this nice setup. We have ramps to climb, and so we'll make our way up in just a second. Yeah, it looks like underside. We just have the skins available to make sure that we don't see anything weird under the house. Otherwise, we have nice little celebrations with the goblin string lights. Let's go ahead and climb up a bit. So notice how we start off with platforms, and then we move to beams as we get a little bit higher. Pass by some of the fishing equipment, climb up some more beams, and now we have like this like upper porch, this kind of deck to enjoy up here, with which to enjoy barbecue stuffs and spas and other relaxy things. We can like sit here and we can like grab this like ginormous apple, boom, splash it right into the middle of the pool, and just like, it's like holding on to a beach ball, and we just start like, dude, what are you doing? I'm eating the I'm having an apple. I'm having a giant, giant apple. What are people going to say? Right? What are people going to say? Now, unless apple chunks start falling into the spa, then it's all bad. And, well, let's not get into that too much. We have a porch. It is very nice. And now this place looks familiar. It's because I do remember a place where I saw like a big old canoe. I was like, wait, is that being used as like the overhang? It is being used for the overhang. That's cool. That's neat. And then here it is. Yeah, awesome. Looks like we have some additional windmill work right up top. Yeah, we sure do. Some other string lights to address the spots, and let's go inside, shall we? So this thing is also maxed out. 4340. We are filled to the gills, baby. So as soon as we walk in, we're invited to, of course, lay down our stuff, click on a secret shelf. That's not going to do anything. But we have an immediate fireplace too, which is quite interesting. We haven't even gotten inside. We're invited to warm up. Maybe we're the type who is like out there. We're swimming. We're doing our thing. This is like one way to kind of like air dry us as soon as we come in. So we definitely want to kind of wash up before we re-enter. We have some shelves right up there that are being used, so we can like hang our jackets, put down our like nasty clothes or what have you. No weapons though. Maybe no weapons. So let's open this up. Let's head on in. And ooh, wow. Okay, this is some highly detailed work here. Ooh, boy. So really strong troll themes immediately here. Like, oh, that's really pretty. Yeah, that looks really good. So we have a fireplace plus waterfall, place to sit. Oh, double waterfall. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I really like the fireplace work here. So there's a fireplace down there somewhere. But for the most part, we have what I believe to be like this big Zandalari bed that's been like flipped around and then used as like the framing for this fireplace. But then it's like so filled up too. You have like additional stuff going on here. You even have like light beams that are leaking down. Very interesting. Kind of like an altar sort of spot, but oh yeah, that's neat. Yeah, I like how this is like all like skinned together and created to, create this sort of transition inside. Oh wow, greens are like spilling all over the place. Oh, that's crazy. This is supposed to be a blood elf, doorway. Not anymore though. The trolls own it now. So here on the side, we have like this additional like little bar area. Snackies, stuff is ready to go, ready to be served. Oh wow. Trellis of, things are just filled. You hardly have any room to see like what's behind the walls. Like it's filled with like something or other. Like even this little spot here. Like you can see like this little nook has been like sort of carved out, given foundations. And now we have like this really tight private spot. Really sick. Really strong lived in sort of feel. It's not messy. It's organized. Things are very well placed, put together, kind of organized. Even like stacks of books are being set up like that too. Oh, that's sick. Oh, wow. Really impressive start. All right. So in different directions, there seems to be a pretty long path that way. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. We'll go. Oh, I guess we're going for this climb instead. So now we've entered a kind of retail spot. Places to sit, maybe perhaps take orders and all that. And then folks are working in the back. So Let me pan back one more time to really like soak everything in here. So it's so we have this kind of grand climb, but instead of something like a big fountain or an Arcane door in the middle, it's a bar right here in the mid. That's pretty sweet. We walk over, we have like some big bar seats like right over here with which to enjoy some cheeses. We can see that the pillar, in a way, it kind of acts as a kind of a foundation for this upper level, which is very cool. You can see like how things are like dyed, like in some cases dyed different colors to just give it that additional personality and pop. We see this color a lot with like, of course, trolls, which is the big theme here, but also Pandaren. Pandaren love having like those solid green colors as well. Man, this kitchen area is sick. It's very, very filled. Even the area under the stairs just filled with like bits of like clutter, ingredients, all the necessary things for some big cooking. Like this place is stocked as heck. But it also has like, again, a bit of personality, not just the greens, but like, paintings here, effigies and other representations. Back there, you got like the big statue just kind of like staring at you too. That's neat. That's a neat depiction of the outside. Kind of makes you forget about everything else that's out there. This thing's just kind of staring at you. You don't really think about like, oh, is that a solid wall or the sky or what have you? Yeah, very cool. And then we have maybe a more pantry area. Could be more pantry area. Absolutely. And then it looks like we're just looking at like we snuck into like some work in progress stuff on the side here. Whoop. Yeah, so I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Let's retreat for now. All right. But if I miss that place, then I'll know where to go in case I need to find it. But yeah, great work on like just having like this little mini bar set up under the stairs. That's really sick. And it's that plus kitchen and even an outdoor view. So now we're working this temple a little bit more. Now it looks like there are upper levels to it as well. So whatever is being cooked down there, they walk over, climb up, service here too. You can almost call this like a VIP sort of spot as well. We have an arrow pointing there suspiciously. No indicator of like exactly what's going on, but maybe it's more like, oh, food's ready, go right this way. Sure thing. Notice how we have like this little like carved out area here, even though we're climbing up and probably into like another set of rooms over there, still made space for like this right here. Carved out a surface that is also being used as a roof, and then filled it out. Tables there on the back, smokes and drinks, and again, places to sit. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, and then back here, I'll check it out as we do the climb. We get to so let's get to the top of the stairwell here. So now we have like this whole spot here, and it's like spitting out water too. I don't think I can get any closer to that really. That's dope. That's really cool. Love the overgrowth. It adds so much personality to the spot. It's hard to deny too. We got this whole troll temple vibe going on. Yeah, you can't really get away from that. Now up here, the overgrowth doesn't seem to be as prominent. Some stuff is, coming out the walls. Some stuff is coming down in pods. Other places you have like this limited growth here and there. But it looks like we'll be exploring like a series of like smaller rooms. You can see the separations here, here, and so on and so forth. So let's go through. Boop. And all of a sudden, we're in the bank. Or kind of like the quartermaster's room, the requisition room or something like that. So here's where the bank NPC would be. You're like, yo, I need a such and such. And they provide. Yeah, so nice setup here. With all the different treasures that have been collected. You could see like the illusion being broken right there because it's like, yo, we're just trying to focus on a shot like this. that's all good. Give me gold, absolutely. It looks like hopefully there's plenty of room to grab gold from the bank here. So check it out. So we come in. We have like this size room. Then we have another doorway here, which takes us into another small room. And then they're using a trellis, a big old rugged trellis, as the kind of like gateway or whatnot. All right, bank's closed, and then they like close the whole. They lower the whole trellis down. That's it. You ain't coming in unless you're like half a gnome size. All right. So that's one door. Looks like we're kind of going straight ahead. So let's check out this spot here, which has been very heavily skinned. Like check out walls, 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 walls. Now, but in this case, it's only being lightly used to just kind of skin a sort of curve and make this depiction of the outside. We don't have like special windows or rug rolls or what have you to try to create an illusion here. You just have like some stuff there. That works out still. Yeah. Places to sit, hang out in this like little corner. And like we have like these little transition hallways, but not even hallways. They're more like sectionals that are all the same size. So here you have like this kind of grand fireplace, flanked by candles, drapes. There's a doorway behind there, I think. I don't know why, but it seems to be like closing it off. Then here on this side, we got even more going on, which let me take a peek here real quick. let's go. Actually, no. This is a really big place, by the way. The layout work on this thing is insane. So let's go here and check out like this kind of like fell sort of room. No, it's more like like an arboretum or a place to like work on alchemy related stuff. But notice we have this vaulted ceilings. We have like this upper level. Not sure if that's meant to like take us anywhere. We'll check that out in just a bit. Let's just keep exploring the first floor here. But yeah, like I said, lots of alchemy work being done here. Experiments. Ethical or not, things are happening here. And then right at the edge of the spots, the unknown, it's space. It doesn't look like there's any clickables that let me go through here. So likely a dead end. But very interesting that, okay, maybe not so interesting, maybe predictable that we are in the experiment room. So of course the unknown that is just beyond those gates, they're gonna have it here, a place where they can observe and, experiment by throwing stuff inside. Like, yeah, let me just take this tentacle monster and throw it in. That nothing's bad's gonna happen from that, right? I'm kind of referring to one of the earlier visits that we made where we saw like this big old void tentacle monster. That was crazy. Now from up here though, all the fixings for, again, study work, but it has this kind of like grim feel to it. Not so bad because we're not seeing corpses or anything, but there's definitely some dark work being done here in this kind of troll-ish temple. And we kind of departed a little bit from the whole troll feel, at least so far. We'll see if we get back to it because the start of it here, really, really strong. So we got doorways to the left, right, and center. We're going to go ahead and go through. And in this case, we have this kind of office bedroom. Strong elf theme, so far at least. Actually, it feels a little bit more neutral so far, but we do have like clear colors of it. The colors strongly suggest like some sort of elven theme. Here's our cork board with our planning of stuff. Planning for housing, for Ilaria, and Gilneas. Awesome. Maybe not for Gilneas, but it's okay. Here's the boss's desk and a pleasant window to go through. Must be nice and pretty over there. Oh, pretty enough to observe too. so they can check out like what sorts of madness might be coming through. Let's go and go through here though. I'm sure it's safe. Boop. Yep, totally safe. Okay. So, just meant to be a window. No big deal. It would take up extra budget to make like a sort of privacy screen and prevent people from going through there. That'd be kind of a pain. All right, so we're still in this sort of what I think is like an office bedroom. So here's the bedroom proper. We go up one level. Like, I love how this is like all filled out. This whole shelf area. And they're just like shelves that are flanking. On the sides, you have your drapes painted in the mid. So it's all filled out to avoid any sort of weird clipping or things that might just look unsightly. You know, just put a drape over it. No big deal. Pillows on the side. Miss Murgle's hanging out by some of the books and rolls. A couple of Borealis lights above us. So you have like this nice, cozy, warm space. I know it's kind of like a throwaway term, but no, this works. This works out really well. Right up front, you have a place where, you know, you can sit and do your reading, get dressed, do your thing, enjoy the memories of Valorant and all that, or run to the loo. So we got a bath, no shower, but we got a bathtub right here. And then we doll ourselves up once we're ready to go. And notice we have like some of these newer Herondar sinks that's being used here. That's neat. Now it's kind of like, you can kind of like tell a story. It's like, oh, is it a real Herondar sink, or is it just you know, just a fake one that you picked up and everything there's artificial? The fact that it's like sitting on like the whole marbling tells you the latter, but no, you never know. Now through this side, ooh, we go back into the heavy troll theme. So this looks like just a bathroom. That's interesting. Because like that had a whole bed and bath and office. Here, only the bathroom. But it's super filled out. You know, from wall hangings to picture frames to banners and everything. Here's where we bathe. I like how this works too, because you have like two kind of fountains to work with in this case. Between them looks like a dyed shelf to kind of bring them together. And I really appreciate how like the colors here happen to match the greens here on the actual fountain. So you can see here, those are the studs of this, what I'm pretty sure is a shelf. It's just been flipped backwards. So that's cool. That fits together quite nicely. Yeah, it's a very complete shape. You don't really see much clipping at all. Very convincing. But once you're done with your stuff, put on your product, get here, get dressed and all that, and you're good to go. No toilet though. Unless it's that bucket. That's not good. That'd be kind of devastating. All right, so went through here. Now we're going to go through the mid. What's behind door number 3? Now here's the bedroom proper. All right. Yeah, so in this case, even more grand, because in this case, okay, you probably have like some office work being done. But in this case, ooh, check it. Oh, okay, so never mind the bathroom. We have this instead. Wow. We have this like really cool depiction of the outside with some heavy troll themes. I swear, I love the shape of like the way that these are colored and shaped and put together. They're so clean looking, man. They look so good. Yeah, I love the textures on these. But I'm gonna step back a little bit. Actually, no, we're gonna see if there's anything behind this. Come on, explore. Nope, no explore. So dead end, but really great depiction of like this. You know, here's an outdoor spot. Boom. It just happens to be, here's a room that's just kind of built into this cave. That's neat. That's neat. So I'm going to retreat back to the entrance again because we're seeing lots of like little personalizations here. So we come in and we're flanked by, these collection shelves, stuff that we've gotten. It's not very well organized, but I think that's kind of the point. It's that sort of clutter. Yeah, we got some wine bottles when we went over to like this and that place. We also picked up this when we went here. We also picked up this, and it just kind of like collects. So that has a very natural feel to it. Place to sit for tea. So yeah, well, there's a bit of social element here. We can even, I think is that another bed? Yeah, so that's one. This is the actual Zandalari bed, and then here's another one, but it's not. They just wanted to use the frame here to create the window frame. That's good. That's really cool, dude. Respect. And then here's the actual place to like really kick back, relax. I mean, it's it is kind of odd that it's a goblin couch, but it's all good. And notice how this fireplace feels very modest in comparison to like others that we've seen. Sometimes we've seen like, these huge monstrous kinds of fireplaces that you can throw a body in, which I'm sure means nothing. But in this case, it's very like normal sized. In fact, it might be a little bit smaller than normal. But yeah, still lots of personality in it when you have it framed with the bed and everything. Really cool. And you can see like how some things have been dyed to stick with that, with the theme that we've been seeing pretty consistently throughout the place. All right, so I didn't really look at the bed itself because the bed itself is just huge. There's already like so much to it, but then you have the top. I'm sorry, like behind it you have like some additional drapes, some string lights, banners, pillars to help draw the barrier even more. And if that was enough, you have rails to kind of guide the boss here. They come out and then they climb down. Very cool. All right, and then I think we're going this way now. Yeah, then this way we have this nice window setup. Really bright. I'm a big sucker for light beams as always. Looks like it's hard to tell if they added more to it. I don't think they added more lights to this. Whoop. Because you can see how like nothing is really brighter on this side here. So I think I'm sort of probably meant to just kind of go only about this far. So like here's the shot. Here's the shot of this nice little reading spot. Plus working spot, but very, very pleasant. I kind of like how this is sort of a vent to suck up fumes from the brazier here. That's kind of the story I'm telling myself. I think that works out pretty well. But yeah, a lot of great rooms here. Like I said, I love like the additional detail that they pushed in with, having these personable shelves and just trying their best to fill up every corner of the space. That's sick. That's sick. Okay, I'm pretty sure I went through here, right? Yeah, this was this is the troll bathroom. That is the office bathroom and bedroom. And I think we're going that way next. But let me just make sure, because I'm kind of losing my orientation. So here's where we climbed up. The bar's right below us. Yeah, so I got that part right. This I forget. Ah, the bank, right. Went through there, outdoor stuff. Yeah, so now we're going this way. Let's go. So now, fell stuff is happening over here. But we still have, like, life. You know, it's not necessarily evil stuff that's happening here. But we do have like, you know, more chemistry kinds of stuff happening here. Notice how the greens, they seem bigger, as if part of the experiments here were like, okay, we're going to increase the growth. We're going to kind of go all out here. Actually, I think we went to this room, didn't we? Yeah, this was the chemistry room. Oh, shucks. Sorry about that. Yeah, goof. All right, so let's make sure. Yeah, so I know I couldn't go through there. Right. Let me try one more time, just in case. Nope, doesn't appear so. Okay. So we'll continue backtracking. Because I thought there was like one more spot to check out. Like, I think it was there. So I can't access it through here. That was a dead end. So I think I need to climb down and then go to like one more wing of the place. So, climb down. I think. Then we go back to this main room. And now we go this way. All right. Now the third wing of the spots. Oh, this is cool. This is like a total hangout bandy spot. So like here's like the stage. Check it. At least I think it's a stage. You know. So we're singing, we're beating drums, we're doing our thing. Meanwhile, the audience is just vibing, smoking, drinking, debauchery. I don't know. All three at once. It's all good. But as for everything else here, you know, let's take a look at how each of these wall panels are being set up. You know, nothing too crazy. You know, we have a sconce. We have this kind of like rope flag sort of deal going on, and a weapon rack. And it seemed to be like consistent there and there. Up here, you know, elevated place to sit. Kind of sort of like a VIP, but it's a pretty small spot. It's just a place where you want to have like a tiny bit of privacy. You know, no one like walking up into your business and all that. Right here you have like an altar set up, and in the mid, this nice big bonfire / hanging sconce kind of chandelier sort of deal. You know, huge setup, but in this case being used as a centerpiece. It's pretty effective. Yeah, loving the colors here. Like I said, I'm a big sucker for trolls. Okay, so we're going left first, and I'm being directed to go up these stairs. I'm also being invited to put down my weapons, maybe throw away some trash, something like that. And we reach this upper area for hanging out. So we got this cool hangout pit. Boom. Right over here. We have a fireplace built into a tree, which is definitely an approach. Fireplace built into the tree. I'm sure that must not be great for the tree. But what are we doing? We're watching TV. Who are we watching? We are watching the, oh God, what is it? We're watching the Afterlives cinematic from Shadowlands. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone who remembers that is exactly what we're seeing on screen right now. And people are like, boo. Throwing their drinks at the screen. No, don't do that. That's a TV. It's not just like a movie theater screen. They'll be messed up. That's funny though. So this feels like this whole like entertainment spot. That's neat. And there was like some stuff below us too that we did not that we passed by. So I like how this ends up dressing up. Well, what else do we have here? Now, in this case, again, with the organized clutter, it's not like we're seeing a mess, but we're just seeing like lots of just like assortments of placements here. one spot after the next. More nooks, more places to just kind of like hide out and do your thing. Have some snacks, read, and you'll get lost here. This is a huge place. Like I already got lost. I was mistaking like one room that I haven't seen yet, and I did see it. So I feel bad about that, but it just kind of goes to show just how big these spaces can get. And unless you're doing like some crazy kid bashing, you can really fill out a whole bunch of these rooms. So like in this case, I'd say this is like this is pretty exceptional because you have like this we were climbing up. So there it is, here it is below again. And actually here's the area that's under it that I was mentioning. So it happens to be empty. And they can fill it up eventually if there's more budget, but they're out of budget. So, instead we're doing this climb and here's like the above spot. That's crazy, man. That's some really good layout work. Because this looks really good. Oh man, this layout looks great. This is fantastic. I love it. I love it. And then this happens to be like this sort of like upper balcony that we were seeing before. Yeah, so here's where we were. Here's the spot that I was trying to get to. Nice. And what do we have here? Just like gaming. So this entire like wing, this hall, wherever, it's all entertainment stuff. TV's down there. Folks are like just kind of chilling, reading stuff. People are playing some games right up in here. Private little session. But great views from up top. You can see a large gathering of folks that are just coming here, vibing, hanging out, doing their thing. That's sick. That's sick. Now, I think we've seen everything. I think. It's a little hard to tell, so I'm going to do a quick jog one more time. Hello, Miss Lilith. So that's the dead end. So here we are back in the... So this is the main room. And... No, this is... No, this is the band room. So I think we're not done. Yeah. Because we came from here. Here's the front. Yeah, there's still a lot more. Oh, man. All right, so back down here. Now, here's an interesting depiction. So we have so it's kind of a bedroom, but maybe not. So here we are. We lay down, we do our thing, but there is an art easel here. And we draw. So it's a place for someone to pose and do their thing. And then the AI will do the rest, right? It's a whole portrait shot, so they're intended to get everything here. That's pretty cool. But yeah, not a bedroom of sorts. Interesting. So now let's go this way. And what are we greeted to here? So now curious, we're on the floor, but then we climb up one little baby level. We have our trophy right here on the side, place to sit. It's almost like we're in a bedroom of sorts. But now we climb down a little bit. Big fireplace right there. And are we out? No, we're not outside. But we have like this really strong weather setup here. Oh, that's sick. Lightning going, wind gusts, rain coming down. Reptar's getting kind of scared, like, yo, dude, can we not do this out here? Even the bird's like, dude, why are you telling me like this? Like, I can be free. Just open the cage. Let me out. But yeah, cool outside depiction. I think we got to back up a little bit. Like, here's the shot. And then you have like these rounded elven tables to help shape it. It's not a perfect circle. It's like 1, 2, 3 right here. So you have like you can see where they meet. Really cool. And then we climb up again. Very curious about the layout here. I like what's being done here. It's just very curious about it too. Yeah, so here's where animals are hanging out too. And we reached the kitchen. Interesting. I feel like we've journeyed long and far, and then all of a sudden we hit a kitchen. Here we have like this kind of like hunter sort of altar, complete with the table, the banner. Nice. More hunter stuff right here. But yeah, we're hanging out with all the plushy friends. And there's like a dog. No, not really, but yes. Let's check out this kitchen here. So the kit bashing here, nothing too crazy. Bar table, you have bar shelves and cabinets. And it's being used to like make a texture. That works great. I think that's great. Dry pantry area, different sized pans and everything. Well organized for the most part. Quite well organized. Coffee setup too. And then in the middle, you have like this kind of like prep bar, or it's a place where if you're just like having a casual meal by yourself or just with a buddy, then it's just two of you, cool, go ahead and eat on. We'll see if there's like a dining room of sorts anywhere, something for guests, something that's a bit more opulent. Now on this side here, what do we have? We have target practice. So kind of sort of a shooting range, training room, that sort of thing. That's a lot. Now the arrows are directing me to the center here. Okay, so here I am. And I think that's it. I think we're just directed to look at the center. Love the target dummies though. Each one's being used. Okay, this punching bag is not really target dummy, but no. I think it's just meant for games. Let's check out the one busted arrow of someone who missed absolutely horribly right there. That's funny. Yeah, some more like hunter. Yeah, really strong hunter branding here. Oh, hello, Wyvern. And I think we're ready to go through the door. And are we outside? I think we're heading outside. Yeah, because we're coming out here to this sort of like transition through the shroud. And yeah, there's the outside. Oh, awesome. Awesome. So now we're in this kind of like observation floor where we can all hang out. Check out those size of those hookah. Damn. Big as a man. That's cool. But yeah, we have, oh, dude, check out what's outside. Oh, okay, that is ominous. Yeah. So as the 1% is just like kind of out here hanging out and carving up the country to their liking and stomping on the working class. It's all look, look, James. James, which is spelled with an E at the end. Look, James. Beasts are coming. Oh, we better call the adventurers once again to handle this eyesore. Meanwhile, they're just kind of doing their thing. It's a cool effect. Very ominous, too. Because that thing is huge. Very intimidating. What's cool about it, too, is it's kind of blocking, like, the rest. Like, you don't see everything here. Maybe it's because it's clipping through the curved part of the skybox room. That and also, like, the rest of this void fountain thing might be blocking the remaining part of the eye, so you just see the skull. So it makes it look very, very scary. Unless you're rich, then like you're fine. I don't think there's a way outside for us. You just have like these kind of like ways over here, walls that are set up there. Yep, no escape. I mean, there's those bookshelves. I think that's the only thing that's like preventing us from going out. And then I'll climb up here again really quick. Here's like some observation stuff, but no. But then we're kind of looking in the opposite direction and not at the looming threat that is, well, right through that. But looming threat, that's right over there. Whoops. Oh man, this place is sprawling. There's a lot here. And all very cool. Oh man. This was a visual treat. We were taking like all over the place, I feel like. But now I think I have seen everything. Because now we're going back here. We're back in like the band kind of room. That was the weird painting room of sorts. That was the entertainment deck. Yeah, huge place. Huge, huge, huge. Like, just stuff is like all over the place. And there was room for more. It's just that they ran out of budget. So yeah, it really goes to show just how much efforts that people can and have put into things to create like these really, really detailed spaces. Fantastic. So I'm grateful. Thanks for showing me this place. Oh, yeah, really cool. Really, really cool. All right, so we got one more place to look at. I'll need a few moments to like breathe, kind of do a quick mental reset, but let me start heading over there. Mm-hmm. 25. All right. Any last minute news? Let's see. There is nothing there. Any cool emails? Okay, that's some other work. All right. Ooh. Oh, I thought that was a dog. Come on, puppy pictures. Puppies are quite therapeutic. I want to find more. Any animated puppies? Come on. So many dogs. So many dogs. Oh, this one's cute. Okay, I got one at least. Oh, look, it's a water puppy. Yay. That's cool. He's just chilling on the lake. Someday, guys. Someday. Someday I'll share a puppy. Ah. All right, what's for lunch today? Salad, baby. Dude, yesterday was such a treat. It was such a treat. I'm glad I got half off the burrito, but man, I was full. By the time dinner was done, I was like, oh man. I think that's why, like, that might have affected my performance in raid too. Maybe I wasn't doing call out so great because I was like fighting the food coma, like for a good chunk of that. So maybe that's my bad. Alrighty. We got one more for today. All right, folks, welcome to Kim Stardust's place, Rover and Founders. And once again, like I'm seeing a lot that I haven't really seen much of because I don't remember ever seeing anything that had a climb like this. So it's kind of cool that I'm seeing lots that I have seen far less often, or at least I don't quite remember. Well, let's take a look at what's going on. So here, no fencing, kind of minimal greens, but we do have like these different paths that take us around. In fact, the greens seem to be like kind of sort of right here. Yeah, we can see like some of it being built right on this side from the looks of it. Fountains being set up. They've been like smalled up just like a tiny bit. Right under here, we can enjoy some nice fresh air under the cherry blossom tree. There are two puppies. Hey, at least two. You know, maybe you can cram some more, like into a smaller space. We'll come up there in a bit. Looks like a hot tub's over there, but let's check out this backyard area here. So back here, places to sit, drink, have snacks. Now in this part here, we do in fact have like some greens to help like outline the space here. And also we have like this here, this curious kind of like fencing that I haven't seen before. That's really cool. Very, very cool. Out there, let's jog and take a look at what's in this gazebo here. This raised gazebo on the spot. Boom, boom, and then climb up a little bit more. And just a place to like feel taller than everyone else and look down just a little bit. The real climb, though, is right up here. You know, right through here from outside the kind of yard area, we'll climb up into the hot tub. And what better thing to do in a hot tub than observe stuff? They need to take this thing and just put it right here, right? It's like, let's get real. Let's stay relaxed, stay nice and warm while we're watching. Yeah, that'd be the way to do it. That'd be the way to like get your scouts out there to keep watching out for the lead and just put them in the hot tub too. Now that might do some awful things because you're in that sort of water. You're pretty much being boiled for like hours and hours. You eventually die, you know, whatever. But at least for a little while, it's going to feel pretty cool. I mean, warm. Well, you know what I mean. Worst comes to worst, have some coffee. It's all good. All right, let's climb down. We'll do another quick pass through here. Like I said, we got this cute little backyard area. That's neat. Paving stones will kind of like take us the ways back to the main path. Oh, and there's a little bit more. We have this raised porch on the side too. So we'll climb up through, let's see, how would we do it? We'll climb up through here, boom, boom. You know, just a nice, pleasant place to sit. You know, check out the neighbors going on at the other end. Like, oh, like, check out what's going on at, you know, what's going on at Ralph's place. Oh, Ralph's got those crazy greens once again, you know, trying to show us up on our special cherry blossom tree. Ralph ain't got nothing on us. All right. So let's head on inside. And I will be right back. Some of that again. Okay, that's the last one. Hopefully, that's the final break that we get. All right, it's a cute train. Thanks. All right. So as soon as we go in, let's take a look at when we first walk in. We're invited to say hello to Illyria. Give our little presentation of the lights. No room to lay our stuff down. We're just kind of like welcomed in. Come on in, have a good time. Get yourself situated. We'll sit on banana couch. It is now banana couch because this yellow is pretty fierce, right? Sit on banana couch, enjoy some of the warmth by the corner fireplace. Now, very interesting here is that it's just situated against this wall when any number of things could have been done instead. It could have been put in the corner. It could have been put like a little bit closer. The couches and whatnot could have been set up like this. So it feels like this feels normal. This feels like a normal thing where, maybe people had partied and now we're like rearranging the furniture to, in this sort of configuration. So it's not like not like an even pattern. But at the same time, the fireplace, that's how they built the house, man. So we just kind of deal with it. It's a weird little quirk, but I find a certain charm there. Maybe it's just me. I'm kind of a weird thing. So the notes here, let me look at this. It says it's a warband home, so we can expect a whole bunch of different rooms, and then yeah, bedrooms for the warband, and then there's like a little bit more to it. So let's see what's going on. We have this fantastically large flower box. Things are just bleeding out, but also you have this train that's like just mowing through the underside, which I find pretty sick. All right, so on this other corner, we have we sit, enjoy some snacks, wine, of course, gotta have that. And then also like a whole bucket of stuff, a whole wagon of things. So maybe these are things that they've picked up from the outside, or maybe it's things that they're going to, for all we know, there's like some sort of greenhouse inside, and they're going to bring out more stuff so they can fill out the backyard. That'd be kind of cool. So we have a nice, healthy hallway going on there. We'll try going through here first and see what sorts of surprises await us. So here, we have this really grand, oh, interesting. Huh. So we have like this whole stage set up as if it's like, it's almost like a wedding banquet that had just happened here. Something like that, right? So bride and groom are here, guests are here, and they're also reading, or also eating, I'm sorry. Or it could just be like a stage and we are like doing stand-up or telling stories or we're singing or something like that. So a very like social eating spot. But there's also some industrial stuff going on here too, like the wine. I think I saw some like animations come out here. Like we're processing. Yeah, there we go. So we're steaming or boiling wine. That's cool. I think that's a thing. But as we start panning around, we start to see the work being done. Notably, storing glasses for more wine, because that's a big thing around this place. Wine, snackies, and pies, and meats, and what have you. Panning even further, we got the coffee work going on, of course. Warmer for the coffee. If you want to keep the French press that warm, hey, whatever they like. Dry pantry on the side. The rinsing sink happens here. We're also doing some grinding of stuff. Maybe it's for like teas or what have you. That works out. More dry pantry goods. It's nice and filled out. We even have like some doors for storage. And what are we storing? Lights. it's all good. All good. Going back through the mid, we have these firewood tables, these earthen tables, serving all the good stuff. Again, meats and coffees and everything. All right, so I think there is only one way through. Let me double check. Yeah, very curious on the stage here. Yeah, I wonder what the purpose is here. Nothing on the notes there. Just kind of curious. My imagination says it's like a stage. So if we're like singing and doing all that, that's cool. Now back here though, more industrial processing going on. So here we are, we're loading the coffee into the roasters and all that. So freshly roasted coffee, that's really cool. I don't think I've ever had anything like that before. You know, I've never been to like an actual roaster to enjoy coffee. I don't even know if it's any different if it's freshly roasted. That'd be kind of a cool thing to find out. It's where the paladin lectures the alts. There we go. Now remember, this is a warband spot. So it could be like, okay, warband's eating while the main is like preaching the good stuff, and all the alts are like, yeah, whatever, they're preaching again, talking about how they're so good and so useful for the player. When we're just as useful too, we use all the cooldowns and we give them like profession goods. Oh my god. So maybe the warband isn't fully harmonized here. Could be a thing. Could be a thing. Okay, so what is this? That is I don't know what that is actually. Sort of a campfire? No, not a campfire. An experiment though. Some sort of experiment that has something to do with the trees. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Right through here? Ooh. Okay, I haven't seen these these non-rotating pedestals. Haven't seen them be used for anything yet, but I like what they're being used for here. You know, carousels to celebrate our kills, right? And you can see like it's a incomplete collection. There's like some blank spaces. There are kills that have yet to be achieved. Nice. Oh, actually, no, they're all up there. So maybe there are special ones, you know? Special trophies, special kills. Nice. Okay, I want to at least kind of see what's behind here. And we won't. So it's all good. So as for what's back here, now we've reached the art room, which is very curious because it's all painted white. Or, you know, we got white floors. So, and it's so clean right under here. But that's what AI, I guess that's the whole thing with AI. They're like doing a very great job of, you know, making sure that things are, you know, nice and neatly done. Well, we have our whole collections of paintings over here, plus this whole depiction of the outside. So you can see like the kind of double illicit table. Although in this case, and I've seen this before where I've seen the illicit table being used kind of similarly, but then it's like transparent. And I don't know if I wonder if that's a bug actually. Like, are they seeing the surface and I'm not? Um, yeah, because to me, this kind of comes off as sort of unusual, you know, because you see the textures, you don't see the textures like at every turn. So it's kind of funny like that. But again, it might be a bug on my end and not theirs. So we're gonna backtrack some. And there is a kind of a portal that I will be looking for. We'll keep an eye out for that. Let's pass by like this kind of mysterious glyph room. We return to like the warband kitchen slash pedestal for the mains. And then back to the main room. So now we're going this way. All right. So through this hallway, we have some curious eggies and other fixins. So, you know, nice filled out hallway as we transition to the next spot. We're going to this preset stairwell room. And on the side here, fountain set up inside a box. Some work is being done here. Places to like lay down, check stuff out. And then under the stairs, just a little bit of clutter here and there. Nothing too crazy. You can sit, read, grab stuff, all good. Or make a way around. Oh, some cleaning being done. Right on. And what else? Oh, I just noticed we have a low roof here. Oh, interesting. So they added some floors above us. So we'll continue the climb here, and then one more landing will take us to the top. Ooh, woohoo! And then there's the boss with puppies. Ah, tons of puppies. Nice. So what's up to the boss? And we'll keep checking stuff out. Like what is through this door, such as the bedroom. Arr. So in this bedroom, actually, it's a bathroom. Yes, more bathroom. So here's our waterfall shower. We do our thing. We get a nice soak, get all the funk off, get into the tub, do our thing. And then check this out. So we have this curious sort of like faucet setup. So merp, we kind of take that lever merp, and then the water just kind of like shoots out. Hopefully it doesn't shoot out with such pressure that it like blasts us in the face, because that would be perfect. Yeah, it would be perfect. Boom. So hopefully not intended there. And then here is like the most expensive toilet ever. So that right there is it's a blacksmithing cauldron. Oh, not blacksmithing, but blacksmithing make this cauldron. This is not cheap to make. It's being used as the toilet seat. That is opulent as heck. Nice. So yeah, do your magic right there. That is funny. All right. So we'll exit that room. That apparently mega opulent room. And now we're entering bedrooms proper. So remember, this is a warband. So I'm sure the biggest, baddest room is going to be like the one for the main, perhaps. But first, let's check out who we got. And let's see if we can try to identify, if there's been like a bit enough personality here to see like, oh, hey, there's like some, this is like this class or that class. So my guess here, Paladin. Race, not too sure. But we do have cherry blossoms all of a sudden. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to guess Blood Elf. Sort of stuff happening here. Handles for cleaning. Yeah, handles. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Through this room. Yeah, we have a wild mix. We have like some steel, some Kulturan windows. We have a earthen bed. We have some rugged windows and shelves and a griffin. I think this room is designed to deceive us. What class is it? Everyman. The everyman class lives in this kind of room. Or someone who just fishes. So that could be it too. that could be it. Hunter, obviously. Yeah, for sure. Cute little basketball hoop right there too. But yeah, the hunter trophy is a pretty big giveaway. Probably a survival hunter of sorts. All right. Yeah, multiple spears that we have going on there. Nice. And let's do this room next. Okay, this one I should look at last, because I saw some notes earlier, so I think I should look at that one last. And this one here, oh, gee, is that a Miss Murgle being shot out of a cannon? Yo. Okay, so this is the plushies room. So they own this spot. So there's like Gnome Dude, we got Snuffles, we got Miss Murgle. Again, being shot out of the tube here into the bed. Oh, I think that's the game. That's the game. They're like, yo, let's play the game. And then they go in there, boom, 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 boom. That'd be cute. That would be cute. All right. And everyone's hanging out. Very nice. All right, so let's retreat a little bit. We're going to go back to that previous room. All right, so in this spot, there's like something going on back there. We'll take a look at that in a bit, but I think there's like a bit more to check out. Some experimenting things happening here. Obviously, we got signage, branding to let us know exactly what's going on. Plus fireplace, and then back here. Ooh. Fancy schmancy. So we have like so this is like a bit of a departure from the other aesthetics that we've seen. You know, we got elf flooring. How about that? But really bright. Like they skinned this thing with filigree lights, like up to the nines, and went all crazy with it. This nice little presentation of the Arcane door right on the side, plus bed. Now this is, I gotta say, the most uncomfortable bed that one can sit on. Because, dude, it's so bright. Like, I sleep, I get up, and I'm blasted. I feel like being in here will give me a tan. I'll be like triple darker than I am already. But that's how it goes. Maybe we could say this is one part bedroom, one part tanning room. Fair game. I could be wrong. Shoot. For the light. Yeah, no kidding. For the light indeed. Now let's see what's behind here. Because supposedly I was told that there's supposed to be like some sort of surprise back here. And there is. We're going outside. Ooh-wee. So in the notes, they said that this is supposed to be a glamping spot. Now, for those who aren't familiar, glamping is like camping, but in so few words, it's easy mode. You know, so you have like these really grand setups of like, okay, you know, very well furnished like trailers for the most part, and I think we're seeing the depiction here that are like that have like running electricity, you got Wi-Fi, you got all the good stuff. So you just happen to be out in the woods, but you're enjoying not all, but a good chunk of the luxuries of being at home. And I think we have like a little bit of that here. I would say this one is a little bit lower tech. Like I think folks are, you know, they're roughing it out just a little bit, but it ain't so bad at all. All right. Yeah, so we have like nice little camping setups here and here. Very cute. And then extending out. So pretty much every tent that you can find is going to be found here to create this whole sort of experience. We'll try to make the climb up there in just a bit. I just want to make sure that we're seeing everything down here first. So that was the way out. And then I want to take a look at what's above here. So like here we are with the cherry blossom trees, very cute. And I think that's what we saw earlier. I was in another room previously where I was like, wait a minute, how come I'm seeing cherry blossom leaves dropping here? And then here's where we get like our best view. Let me get some coffee, warm up real quick. Let me get some lavender coffee, all right? Sit and enjoy ourselves. And look, there's an egg moon. There's an egg moon on the side. Nice. What about the real moon? No, real moon's fine. Egg moon right there on the side. Very cute. All right. Kim, did I see everything? I'm not sure if I had grabbed everything. It was a happy cherry blossom, a happy accident. We did. Yes. Great. Thank you so much for letting me see your place. Fantastic. we'll see how things go over time. As you like, you know, as we find new decor, there might be some cool new experiments to try out with the glamping setup. No, thanks for inviting us. Appreciate it. Someone was asking, where to see your place. I've had a lot of streamers from my house. Yeah, just sign up. And then we'll get to you for sure. How am I looking actually? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 2 spots available. So if you want to sign up, you have like a little bit of time. And then we'll see your place next week. Yay! For those who are new, that's how it works. So if you're interested in having me visit your place, I have a queue. You did sign up? Okay, cool. Under what handle, actually? I don't, well, okay, maybe you just have a different handle than Mech, than Mechman. But yeah, that's cool. But yeah, next week should be a treat. I got plenty of EU folks that signed up, so we're definitely good for Tuesday's downtime. Stone Dead, right on, dude. Cool. Yeah, well, there were some crazy places that we saw. Oh man. But I look at places like 3 days a week, at least 5 or so visits a day, whenever we do it. So been doing this for a little while. You know, I like being one of many who have seen. God, what's my queue at now? 530 something. Yeah, it's a Gothic vampire build. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Absolutely. Trust. Now, I admit I have seen many. You know, and they've been great. I have no doubt that yours will be amazing as well. And that's what we try to do here. You know, we don't try to do like comparisons and be like, oh man, this was great, but it's nothing like da 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 da. So yeah, you can try and expect like some of the same energy that you'll see with other places that I've seen. But some places they're definitely a cut above. Oh. But yeah, stay tuned next week. And if you want to watch me do the visit, awesome. If not, I'm going to do it anyway. So, what else not like something that I've seen for sure? Some people talk. That's big talk. That's some big talk. All right, so someone was talking about like certain news things because we finished our visits for the day. Yay. But someone mentioned a thing. Some news. There's some dev notes and yada yada yada. I think I saw dev notes too. Cool. I like dev notes. All right, since we're here. Okay, first off, our Flux Mythic from Flux Mythic? Oh, that's news. Wait, Flux Mythic in the 12, that's soon. All right, so real quick. There's some retuning happening. Tuning. That's it. Okay. Okay. The Sporefall boss will have a mythic flex. Okay. Oh, damn it, it's a thing. They announced that the Sporefall 1 boss right in Harden in the okay, so this is a zero impact. This is a low stakes experiment. Let's go with that. So remember, 1207 is still season 1, right? All right, we do aim to make this raid more approachable. One of the pieces of feedback that we've heard a lot from Mythic players in particular and Heroic players is that it's very difficult to make that transition from heroic to mythic. This is going to be a one boss raid inherent arc called Sporefall. We're excited that for the first one, we're going to be offering mythic flex difficulty, so you'll be able to enter into mythic with groups of 15 to 25. We hope it'll allow more groups who have maybe completed AOTC or heroic goals to transition into mythic. So that's really our goal with this piece of content, to make sure that if you finish the season in your heroic group, that if you feel like you can start to bite off a bigger challenge for your group and think about a long-term mode of transitioning into mythic difficulty. That's fair. I think that's a good first step. Like, because one, it's low stakes. This is happening like at the end of the season when people are like, I don't care. Right? But we also need to, we also can't ignore the reasons why we haven't had Flex Mythic ever. Ever since, well, end of Moth and Warlord, with Warlords. So that's been well over 10 years now. We've been, over 10 years with Mythic, and they're finally going to try out this experiment. And I think it's partially because there's a number of tendrils here. There's a number of factors that are going into why this is like an allowed, why they're going to at least experiment with something like this. Because one, it's not the start of the season. We're at the tail end of a season, and with them introducing like a raid later on, they don't need to care so much if it's like something that's only like the most bleeding edge players can do, or they don't need to care so much if people like were to optimize and be like, well, okay, it's mythic difficulty, but the way that it's tuned and blah 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 blah, we need to bring like only this many people because the scaling works the best way, something like that. That's been a common refrain when it comes to the arguments against flexible mythic. But to me, it's a couple of things. One, it's not the start of a season. Two, because of the way gearing works now with upgrades and things like that, it allows better rewards, but not better rewards in the sense that you must do this. You must go into this raid in order to get that gear, because there's so many other ways to gear, and thanks to upgrades, you can get alternate kinds of gear from other places. Now, there might be a best in slot kind of thing that comes from this 1207 raid. But even then, it's like, okay, we're only going to enjoy this for like 8 weeks. I'm still skeptic that they're ever going to introduce flexible mythic at the start of a season. I think that would introduce, or that would reintroduce all these kinds of debates that people bring up about how that would kind of like do weird things to the meaning of like cutting edge and the race to world first, but more so like just cutting edge and like just the general logistics of setting that up. People have talked about, I think Mage Master was saying something about it. Next step is to get rid of the mythic lockout. I wonder what that would do with dedicated guilds. It would kind of, I don't know, I think that would turn the raid scene upside its head, and it would turn it would make raids into like a very heavy, it would make pugs even more dominant than they are now. And I'm not sure if that's something Blizzard wants to do. They are big on, there's like this whole wrestle between, we want players to be able to play together, but we also want to promote the whole social dynamic too. And by loosening restrictions by a bit too much, we've seen what happens. We've seen how players react. There's a lot of folks out there, whether they realize it or not, that see themselves as like the main character. They see themselves as, they see the game as like a single player experience. And everyone else is like just some faceless pug that I don't need to talk to. They just need to know the stuff they're doing. They need to have their add-ons and their gear and blah, blah, blah. I don't need to think about any of that stuff. And once I'm done grouping with these people, then I immediately leave and I never talk with these people again. So I think there's always going to be that sort of struggle. And this doesn't address any of it. People are going to bring up the whole mythic conversation and, what people want. This is not doing it. I think this is mostly, hey, we want to have something a little bit harder at the end of the season to kind of like make people feel excited about doing a little bit more than just like the same stuff that they've been doing for many, many, many weeks now. But this is a good start. This is a good jumping off point, and I think the best thing to do is to, one, present it, get it in players' hands, have them try it out, and then from there, see where the feedback takes us. It might be awesome, and we do more, and I eat crow because I'm totally wrong, or it really underlines like the kinds of challenges that developers face when trying to create these encounters. But personally, I don't see this doing anything to affect Mythic Radiant as a whole. I think this is going to be like a mostly like kind of like a puggable thing. Because remember, this is the one boss raid. So like no big deal. But then, yeah. So yeah, we'll see from there. We'll see how it goes. And it's lunchtime. So I think I am going to head out for the day. We do have 5 more places to check out tomorrow from Alice and Kakuo and Philica Gaming and Moon Zephyr and Cornbread. I think those are our remaining 5 for the day. So I want to thank you folks for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. This was hella fun as always. You guys have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys for the next thing. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay breezy.